in trouble. Did he get it fired?
Looks like he's struggling to get it going, Ray.
Yep, slow off of pit road for Ben Kennedy.
Yeah, he has it running now, Ray, but he lost a bunch of positions. Michael, you roll it, Ben?
Once again, the 19 issues on pit road. That's Tyler Reddick. Also turned around on pit road, the 28 of Ryan Ellis. Here's the 29.
Look at that. We talked about getting in and out.
See, that's a situation where that's Chad Kendrick's job to know that that 28 truck is pitting 2 pits down from them, and he's coming in for his pit stop.
And there's Dan. Third caution came out. It was a big one in the Next Era Energy Resources 250. A lot of trucks caught up in this incident. The 35 of Mason Mingus hit a ton on the outside wall.
There's John King. John West Townley got some of that. You see a splitter all bent up on the left side. Happened to just inside the top 10. Did the 92 of Ross Chastain get in the back of Parker Kligerman in the 58?
It appears that's the deal. Parker Kligerman, Phil, had driven up to the outside coming off turn 4 to lead that group that Ross Chastain was in the front of, and it looked like Ross got a little overzealous into one and hit Kligerman. Maybe we can get a better look at it. Hopefully everybody's okay.
Watch that white truck on the outside. You can see right now the 92 is against the tailgate.
Yep.
I think maybe did the 58 have to go up the track a little bit, maybe change directions a little bit to avoid the 35, and when he did that, it just got him loose. Look at the job that Jeb Burton does.
Jeb Burton does an amazing job of getting through this.
As does Caleb Holman. Look at Caleb, he's right in the middle of the wreck.
That's that blue and white car, or truck, excuse me, number 75.
Another look. The 58 gets a little help from behind, turns inside and into that 35.
Yeah, wow, hard hit for Mason Mingus.
He's a tough young man, and I know it's he's needing to be tough right now. That was a huge crash.
Look at the damage to that Mad Bapes truck, that Toyota. Tyler Young comes along and gets caught up with the 35. There's Chris Fontaine. There's another view of it. You see the contact right there.
Did you see how the 35 came, maybe was, just one half, a quarter of a truck length up high, and maybe Kligerman had to change directions, and at the same time, Chastain gave him a bump, and it just sent him out of control.
And the bumps are what these guys have relied on to get some momentum. So, that's not unprecedented to get a bump like that.
There's some great driving that goes on during this crash, though. Joe Nemechek somehow snakes his way through this huge crash.
Did you see the safer barrier give when the 35 of Mingus hit it just about head on?
Riding along with the 31 of Ben Kennedy. Amazingly unscathed through that incident.
Oh, Bubba's so close to making it, but gets caught up in it. And look at Jeb Burton, under control, makes his way through the crash.
All around him.
Same with Caleb Holman there.
This is Joey Coulter.
Boy, Joey saw it pretty early. He makes contact with Brian Eichler. Ooh, and a lot of damage. Along with Brendan Newberry in the 24.
See Joe Nemechek? He just kept on driving, made it all the way through the crash.
It's experience for you.
A lot of sheet metal destroyed on these trucks.
Wow.
Yeah, a hard hit for Mason Mingus in the 35.
Brian Eichler as well on that 7 Red Horse truck. Ryan Ellis, that 28 truck, did a nice job getting by. He was right in the middle of this.
I think it was just a situation, Phil, where we've tried to race so close together. Mingus was off the bottom, just maybe a quarter, a half a truck length. Look at this view right here. Let's see if we can see if Mingus maybe comes up just a little bit, and then Kligerman has to change grooves right there.
There he's coming up just a tick.
Just a couple feet, maybe.
That's all we're talking about. That's how precise you have to be, and that's why it's impossible for these guys to race like that all night long. That was just Mingus doing a little bit different line into the corner than Kligerman expected, and then at the same time, Chastain into the back, and you have a big crash.
There's a good chance that Parker Kligerman wasn't going to save that truck, though. I mean, he came down and clipped.
Learned from his mistake early. When the money stopped counted, he was able to get out of there and get through the crash.
Hard hit for Brian Eichler as well in the 7.
It looked like every hit was hard in this accident.
Oh, and how about one more?
There's Parker Kligerman after clipping the 35. He gets caught up with the 54 of Darrell Wallace Jr. and more contact coming. We'll be back for the restart here on Fox Sports 1.
This mirror right now.
White flag in the air. One more time around Daytona.
White flag, one more.
Peters holding his line on the bottom of the racetrack.
Looks like Kyle Busch has fallen off of Peters' tailgate a bit. And that outside line can't keep up the pace right now.
I think that's what Kyle Busch wants. He wants to be able to. Now, here comes Truex up next, side by side with Kyle.
What a run for Truex.
Truex with another run as they enter turn number 3. He's side by side for second. Kyle Busch is boxed in as they come through 3 and 4. Now he's got a little bit of an advantage. Kyle Busch, does he have the momentum? Coming out of turn number 4. He makes the move to the outside. Timothy Peters checks him up high as they come to the stripe. Side by side for the win. It's going to go to Kyle Busch as he crossed the stripe.
Jimmy Willer gets turned around past the start-finish line.
A perfectly timed pass for Kyle Busch. And of course, we got to apologize. A little emotion there in the radio.
What an amazing run to the checker.
Boy, Timothy Peters did all he could do to try to block.
Man, what a great group effort. What a great start to the season with my buddy Marcus Richmond back on top of the box. So it's like we know.
Checker flag. So that was quite a move, quite a run. Look at that action there. Those guys were all over one another. And there goes Weller around. But still, a top 10 finish for him.
Matt Crafton snuck through there. Wow.
Let's go back to Hermie Sadler.
Well, Ryan Blaney, you come on with a 6th place finish. I could sense a little bit of a disappointment in your voice, but a lot of experience. And you guys had decent track position, but not what you needed at the end.
Yeah.
Ben Kennedy, good run early on. He runs in. Norm Benning is around.
Norm Benning in the 57. Brings out our first caution on lap 11. We are underway at Martinsville on race number 2 of the 2014 season.
Be the guy you better watch.
Yeah, they've run a little bit over 50 laps since that first competition caution. Mason Mingus into the outside wall.
Around he goes, and damage to the left side of that truck. And then behind him, Clay Greenfield and the 07 of Ray Black Jr. get together.
I think that was in the aftermath. I would say Clay saw it, got on the brakes, and Ray Black Jr. did not. Ran into the back of Clay. A lot of damage to that 35 truck. Here's Clay.
Ross Chestnut.
See, Mason Mingus gets to the inside of the 77. Herman Quiroga not quite able to get there. Herman came down the racetrack. He got loose getting in the corner.
There's Jeff Burton's view.
Whoa, that was really late to make that dive bomb in there, Phil. And
Watch him here, watch him.
Armand Quiroga's
come on.
lucky he didn't take him with him.
Wow.
Hornaday's your race leader, and that was a close call.
Yeah, I don't think the 07 of Ray Black was able.
Halfway point of this race, Johnny Sauter out in front. It's Timothy Peters, Eric Jones, Darrell Wallace Jr., John Townley, your top 5. Caution has come out once again. A lot of damage to the 23 of Spencer Gallagher. That's Brian Silas. He's walking back to the infield care center.
Caleb Holman was involved in that as well, Rick. And that's some heavy damage to those trucks. That truck of Gallagher's is bent.
Go and hit him right in the door. There, the contact has already been made between the 75 and watch Brian Silas. Bam!
Right into the right side of the 23. Fire will then start underneath that 99 after this accident here.
That's insult to injury there. You're already in the inside wall and get hit again. And watch this 99 truck.
Burst into flames here underneath. So Brian Silas then brings that 99 to a stop on the backstretch and had a little problem climbing out of that truck.
Yeah, when something's on fire, you
You try to get out of there as quick as you can.
Your first concern is just getting away from it. You don't know if it might continue or could get worse, and so he was just trying to get out.
Yeah, fortunately the fire extinguished itself, but as you mentioned, Brian had a little bit of trouble getting out of that truck.
And stepped into that throw. Riding along with the 98. After the pass has been made by Timothy Peters.
Hello.
Wow. Well, that camera's in the right
behind
spot.
in the 54.
It's going to happen again. This time in 3 and 4.
He got ran into once and held on to it, and then Johnny just ran over him again.
There's another view. See, Johnny gets in that left rear quarter panel and just stays right there. Timothy has him cleared for a second. Now Johnny's going to drive her down in there.
Gets into that left rear quarter panel again, and up the track the 17 goes. Caution that has come out at Martinsville, and it was the 13 of Jeff Burton that went around. We're riding along with Johnny Sauter. Close call for him.
Getting a good bite off the corner. Three wide
As they come out of turn 4. Greg Gaulding on the outside.
Oh.
And they're not going to be able to stay 3 wide. Gaulding way up the racetrack now. He'll lose a lot of spots.
And he'll have some debris on
Where he'll line up on this one for 19 to go. Back into the gas. Matt Crafton on the inside. Darrell Wallace Jr. look to the inside. Timothy Peters on the outside.
Boy, Crafton drove it hard. Look at Timothy Peters, gets a little bit sideways.
Way up the racetrack with Cole Custer as well. Now it's a battle for second. Darrell Wallace Jr. on the inside. Timothy Peters on the outside. Out in front of the field. Matt
We got
Crafton.
a spinner. Hornaday into the outside wall.
Hard into the outside wall, and a lot of smoke around that 30 as he was spinning the tires trying to keep it going.
Doesn't appear to be a lot of contact with the outside wall for Hornaday.
That nose went straight in
And down to the racetrack.
He was running in the 4th spot when this happened. Armand Quiroga coming in there, got into that curb.
Armand was committed, and he tried to go up on the curb to give Ron a little extra space, and Ron was committed to closing the door. And I think get down to 20 to go, Phil, you're going to start to see more and more aggression, and that just looked like Armand looking to get into a hole that wasn't really there.
You're going to try to take a little more space than you would have maybe 100 laps ago. There's another view of it.
You can see it's a late dive. You know, you hate to just say that's just racing, but here at Martinsville with 20 to go, people are going to start taking more than they give, and he took more than was there, I think.
7th caution of the day. Around goes the 30. Not as much contact as what it looked as though.
There's that 5 truck giving Bubba the advantage. I wonder if Bubba got loose or something, trying to chase down Matt Crafton, because he had some space on the trucks behind him. Next thing you know, he's sideways.
And that truck looks, Greg Gaulding gets turned around.
Gaulding goes around into the inside wall, and it brings out the caution.
That's a huge break for Bubba Wallace. He got that 3rd spot away from John West Townley. That means he's going to be on the inside. Timothy Peters stuck on the outside again. The fight escalated too, Rick.
Gaulding once again into the back of that 00, and then he got caught up from behind by the 33 of of Brandon Jones.
Guys, remember the West race at Phoenix last November. Cole Custer led 49 3/4 laps. Had a little bit of contact from the back with that 20 of Greg Gaulding into Cole Custer. Gray won that West race.
You could see Custer was purposely trying to hold Gaulding down after Gaulding ran into the back of him, and it just nothing Brandon Jones could do. Those guys were having a fight among themselves, and other guys got involved in it.
Yeah, it's still working.
We've got it
so far. Wait a minute, we're not done yet.
Vantage point now.
Yeah. Another shot to the back, trying to move that 77 of Quiroga up.
Leaders.
First attempt at a green-white checker. Green flag back in the air. A great restart for the 17 of Timothy Peters.
Crafton drives it hard down in the corner. He'll use up Timothy if he needs to.
Crafton out in front as they go down the backstretch. Timothy Peters running the 17, and around goes the 51. He had help. Up the racetrack goes the field, and the caution's going to come out before they get the white. We'll try it again.
Tough break for Eric Jones. That was a hard hit into the inside while running in the top 5 on that restart and got crashed.
51 around.
Take another look.
Oh, they just got together.
They got together and he was sideways. Johnny figured he'd just go ahead and move him on out of the way.
Johnny's had an aggressive race today, running into every truck he's caught, basically.
Got into the back of the 51 and didn't let off the gas.
Watch this truck. Bam!
Jumps off the ground. Boy, great job by Eric not letting that truck go back out in traffic.
This was coming off turn number 2.
Johnny had a nose to the inside.
Right along with the 98. This is actually from on top of the truck.
Still out there. Still out there. Easy. Easy.
Kind of tell from the sound there a little bit.
Number 4 into the restart zone. Green flag back in the air.
Better start for Peters. He's alongside Crafton.
Got a good angle down in the corner.
Door to door coming out onto the backstretch. Crafton with the advantage. Timothy Peters tucks in behind as they go into turn number 3. Bubba Wallace moves to 17 out of the way. He takes second. Timothy Peters tries to keep it straight. More contact. White flag in the air. One more time for Matt Crafton. Two by two as they continue through 1 and 2. Out in front of the field. The 88 of Matt Crafton. The late charge by the 54 of Darrell Wallace Jr. But it's the 88. Matt Crafton wins in Martinsville. A champion a year ago and now gets his 4th career win. Take a look at this. 1777. That was after the checkered flag had come out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that he 77
It'll
also
continue.
Pushed.
And yep.
Bam.
A lot of work to do now at the shop.
Obviously both those trucks coming out of the same stable.
Watch Quiroga. Looks like Townley gets sideways and Quiroga just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it turns John West around. I knew there was contact. I didn't know what started. It looked like just got loose off the corner. Maybe did Townley, and then
Timothy was bouncing off the wall right in front of John West.
And the reason why Timothy was mad at Quiroga is because when they got to turn 3 on the last lap, he just ran him right up the track and out of the way.
Such an impressive day for John West Town. Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, and Joey Logano. It's been a tough day, though, for Ben Kennedy in qualifying earlier today. He gets up into the wall. They have to go to a backup truck. Green flag is in the air. We're underway in Kansas.
What a start by Kyle Busch. We talked about him getting out front alone and setting the pace. He's all over that.
Looks like Austin Dillon took a look down underneath Joey Logano. He said, no, no, no. Don't get underneath me here.
Are there 2 grooves? How about 3?
3 wide as they go into 2 and down the backstretch.
That was Hornaday around the outside of the 2-lane path, and he went high to do it.
See Timothy Peters, look how much ground he's looking.
Oh, and up into Timothy Peters, and maybe into the wall goes the 30 of Hornaday. Hornaday goes around before they come out of turn 4.
Oh, big crash. Spencer Gallagher in the back of Amon Quiroga.
Timothy Peters got a piece of that as well. He's crawling down the apron right now with smoke trailing from his truck.
Action early.
Didn't make it a lap, and I think that's typical of Kansas. We've seen before.
That's
plenty of
4 in a row
cautions.
now, right?
Yeah. Exactly. But it's not typical of NASCAR racing.
No.
We usually see these guys hang on to those trucks. Hornaday was very aggressive from the start. He went 3 wide down in turns 1 and 2. Looks like he tried to make a big move. And see what happens here. Peters up high on the track. We can see Hornaday. Looks like he lets off, and maybe Brennan Newberry was right on him. I don't know that they made contact, though. Hornaday gets loose and loses his truck.
It almost looked like there was a little bit of contact there, because I think Ron Hornaday saw it before Brennan Newberry. He backed off a little bit, and it was just a nudge from the back, but it was enough to get him out of shape.
And you got to, Brennan didn't know what was happening. Ron had a great view of what was going on in front of him. Brennan didn't see it, just tapped Ron maybe.
Spencer Gallagher coming in there. He makes contact with the 77.
Look how lucky Ben Kennedy was going by on the inside. Here's another view of it.
Let's watch closely and see if they do make contact. Yes,
right
there it is.
And that nudge was just enough to move him up off the bottom of the racetrack. If Timothy hadn't been there, Ron may have been okay.
And look at the great job that Quiroga was doing to come through there. Spencer Gallagher, however, didn't get slowed down in time and drove into the back of Quiroga.
One of the other trucks
to overcome this, but man, the side of that truck's really damaged, Phil.
Yeah, you see him chase his truck up the hill. Hornaday, after that nudge from Newberry, ran up into the 17 of Timothy Peters. And as you mentioned, Spencer Gallagher was the last one on the scene there and made some pretty hard contact.
And look at Quiroga just slipping by Hornaday, but yet the contact from behind. Great camera work, guys.
Yeah,
that's some action right there.
So the first caution comes out before we complete our first lap in the third race of the 2014 season for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. We're continuing on pit road for Ron Hornaday as well as the 17 of Timothy Peters. Zerman Quiroga area of the racetrack. A little bit too high as we see Johnny Sauter also trying to catch it when he came out of 2.
That was good to see, though, that Brian Eichler was able to maintain some semblance of speed. We got another spinner off of 2.
Around goes 08 of Todd Schaefer.
Can Todd get going again? The caution's not out yet.
The 7 also into the wall. That's Brian Eichler. You see, it's as though the drive shaft came out of the back of that thing.
You don't wonder if he had debris on his tires, Michael, from being up there high and down at 1 and 2. Got down to 3, expected that truck to stick, and it didn't.
He had a rough start. He was sideways a couple of times, got slid up the hill and then into the outside wall.
Fighting for the 4th position was Brian Eichler, and
although it sounds like he's got some problems under there, doesn't he?
he definitely does. Take another look.
That's Todd Schaefer spinning off of turn 2.
And these were 2 separate incidents.
And the big contact was down in 3 and 4. Like Phil said, Eichler was up high in 1 and 2. Got to figure it made his truck really difficult to drive when he got down to 3. See if we can zero in on exactly what happened to Eichler.
Again, that's Todd Schaefer in the 08. The 7 of Brian Eichler, he has issues at the other end of the racetrack. Back in comes around, hard into the wall.
That thing snapped quick, didn't it?
Yep, bumper bar that came out of the back.
He was on the outside, and Johnny Sauter got a little bit loose up there. Normally, we see the truck on the inside. Let's ride along with him.
That's very aggressive, Phil. You can hear him on the gas hard.
That's coming off for the lap before with a 19 of Joey Logano on his outside. So we know the truck's a little bit free right now.
Going back into 3 here.
Pretty late in the corner.
See how quick that happens, too? He was wide open. You could hear he'd been wide open for several seconds. And then all of a sudden, the truck just snapped.
A lot of damage. This may surprise you, but we're under caution for the 3rd time tonight. And it's actually a familiar truck that brought out the caution, not the 51. It's the 8, the 08. Todd Schaefer, he spins once again in turn number 2.
Does a nice job keeping that truck out of the outside wall.
Yeah, you don't usually spin one that far out of control and not only not hit the wall, he kept it going in the right direction. Yeah. So heck of a save. This is a timely caution, though, Phil. The first 2.
Put 4 tires on, made a track bar adjustment to help him snug that truck up on entry. And we also, during that exchange, caught some chatter talk between Ryan Blaney and his spotter.
Kyle sent a message down here about lap 3 after the restart. He appreciates the honesty off there, too, over there, not wrecking both you guys. He got loose, and you gave him some room. He wanted to say thank you. I'll give people breaks. That's how you Cup drivers are.
Caution on the racetrack. Wow, Jimmy Weller in the 07 on lap number 35.
Just completing lap 49. So
Weller gets loose, laid up off turn 2, and it just went into the outside wall.
Saw the 08 also having issues with the 2nd turn.
Phil, if you're Jeb Burton and your
teammates battling side by side for the 5th spot.
And the 13 Burton's up there as well. So all 3 of Core Sports trucks running side by side.
They were 3 wide, as a matter of fact, entering turn 1.
And here comes Joey Logano, and around goes John West Townley right in front of him.
Hornaday's around with some contact from Ben Kennedy, his teammate.
That's a lot of contact from the front of Kennedy's truck. You can see the damage there on the inside. And Ron gets spun around again.
I think that was in the aftermath of John West getting into the wall.
Fighting Lou Gehrig's disease.
See John West down on the bottom of the racetrack. He's down underneath Taylor Malkin. Jits gets loose. Loses control of that Zaxby's Toyota.
And you could see there,
looked like Ron might have had a little help getting turned around at exit or two. He moved down the racetrack to give John West some room. Looked like maybe the 99 of Brian Silas runs into Hornaday, and then Ben with nowhere to go runs into Hornaday. See John West, see him get loose down there in the bottom.
just a bobble, and then it's away it goes and into the outside wall. All that smoke and the guys closing from behind, it's just very little time to react.
Boy, there's just no margin for error here. When these trucks get the least bit.
Well, we talked about the fact that the 9 truck should come to pit road after that damage. He didn't. The tire blew out, and it looked like he hit the wall again, and we're under caution.
Yeah, normally those tire rubbers really don't fix themselves.
Well, you saw him bounce off the wall. You can brush the wall and get by with that, but that truck made significant contact, and they didn't come to pit road and pay the
fender off of the right front either.
There he is with after the right front tire goes down up into the outside wall. Probably have to come back to pit road, Rick, and maybe work on that a little bit more. Clearance that right front.
I think right now
saw the 51 of Kyle Busch get right up on his back bumper, then checks up just a bit as the 19 checks out.
Watch Jeb Burton now. Oh,
and the 9 back into the wall. So Brendan Newberry and that 9 had right side damage. Doesn't look like they got it repaired enough. Blew a tire and back up into the wall.
He probably had a tire rub. They may not have clearanced that.
So major damage to the right side of that truck after hitting the wall once again and hitting it hard.
That'll just about do it there, boys.
So the 7th caution has come out from Kansas Speedway. Sparks have been flying since the drop of the green flag. One of Kyle Busch. Side by side for the lead, continuing at the stripe.
Well, the good news is we're halfway now anyway.
Ryan Blaney had the edge when they went across the stripe.
Oh, he's going to get loose.
And sideways, Ryan Blaney goes. Does he keep it out of the wall? Brushes the back of that truck. And behind him, he gets hit hard.
Johnny Sauter flew in there.
He might have had some help. Johnny might have got hit from behind.
Yeah, there was 2 trucks that came up on the accident scene.
Ryan Blaney looked as though he was going to save it, at least from hitting the wall hard, and then came the 0-2. What looked as though an easy spin for Ryan Blaney as far as saving it. As you mentioned, he catches the apron up the racetrack.
Just enough to upset that truck.
That's exactly what caused that. He didn't get sideways underneath his teammate. He just was trying to hug that white line, and he got loose. Great job by Crafton, not getting into the back of the 21 truck of Joey Coulter.
As soon as Ryan Blaney gets up there, just kisses the wall with the back of that truck, looks as though he's going to be able to save it, and then in comes the 98 and the 0-2.
I think the 98 was playing out and going underneath Ryan Blaney. Ryan was up against the outside wall, and something caused him to turn abruptly towards the outside.
And Blaney had that thing saved. I don't believe it would have had enough damage to matter, but you can see Johnny Sauter shoots to the high side. Tyler Young, I'm guessing, got into the back of Sauter and caused Johnny to lose control.
Boy, it almost looked like Tyler Young was in the outside wall. He was up higher than Johnny Sauter, but there still may have been contact there, and that's what put the 0-2 on it. There it is right there.
Yep.
Bam.
They made contact down low, and that shot that 98 up the racetrack just with the same intensity as the 0-2 had.
I think somebody made contact with a 0-2, and that turned him down into Johnny.
Pretty hard.
Yeah, we just racing hard with Joey, and you know I kept it out of the fence, and I don't know how they got bottled up there behind me and destroyed our truck. But they're just hard racing, and he was just too far on my door, I think, and it just sucked me around, and that's how I got on the apron. Like I said, I had it saved, and then they started wrecking behind us, and just unfortunate. You know, we had a good truck, and shame we tore it up, but we got tomorrow to hopefully have a better Cup debut and go back to Charlotte next week and hopefully have a better run.
Okay, good luck tomorrow night. That is Ryan Blaney, and guys, he came in here sitting pretty in the points. Looks like they may be done for the night.
Guys, right now, 3 of our top 4 in points of all.
Still on the track, still leading, but he will have to come to pit road here shortly, as well as Matt Crafton, Taylor Balsam. Joey Coulter, and around goes the 99 of Brian Silas into the wall. That will bring out our 9th caution of the night.
That's going to really hurt Joey Logano. He's going to be able to do the wave around, but he's going to lose a lot of track position to Kyle Busch and Matt Craft and those guys. Brian was having a pretty good run. Looks like John West comes down the racetrack a little bit. Brian had committed to try to go by on the inside and just ran out of room there. He's going to back that 99 truck up into the outside wall.
Man, what a solid run it was for Brian Silas, too. We went 32 laps before we had a crash that time. Our longest green flag stretch prior to was 20 laps. So, heck, Rick, we're getting pretty low on trucks to crash now.
We're going to be inside 40 laps to go. Maybe we can go all the way to the end green. White flag comes out. The 51 of Kyle Busch, a lap away. And the battle continues between the 20 and 32 for that 4th spot. Austin Dillon hanging on to it. Here comes Jeff Burton. He's going to make things interesting.
The next flag will end this race here. Great battle side by side. Now 3 wide almost.
They continue to battle for position. There isn't a battle up front, though. 3-second lead for Kyle Busch over Matt Crafton. Coming across the line. Kyle Busch is going to win at Kansas.
Austin has momentum from the high side. Who's going to get it?
Right at the stripe. Austin Dillon hanging on for the 4th place finish.
What a great battle, though. But we talked about the ringers versus the regulars, and the ringers got them this time.
Kyle Busch gets that win.
They were outnumbered, but they outran the rest.
Crafton finishing 3 seconds behind Kyle Busch. Joey Logano battling back after being on pit road, taking a green as far as average speed per lap since the start of this race. Now they're running around 172, 173 as far as speeds.
But wait till, as Michael said, wait till we get later on in the night and this track continues to cool. Oh, got trouble.
And up and into the wall at 63. It's Justin Jennings bringing out our first caution as he slides down the racetrack.
A narrow escape for the 7 of Brian Eichler.
Looked like Justin cut a tire. I believe it was the left rear. I saw the tread come off that tire. That's usually an indication that it was going low. He was running in the 28th spot. Had fallen a lap off the pace and crashed hard down there. We got to get going. We got to go catch Kyle Busch. How are we going to do that? Let's work on it.
Speaking of getting going.
See the left rear?
Yeah, it's already down. It's low. Ooh, John West Townley narrowly gets by. Watch Brian Eichler here. Comes along in the 7 truck. Wow, look how close that was. Wow.
Like Eichler was thinking that that 63 was going to go down low. And he just went up there and almost drove right into him. Great save.
Close call for a few drivers there that were able to get by before Justin Jennings 63 slid back down the track. There you see the carcass of the left rear come off.
Thing looks like it picked up speed when it turned sideways and backed up into the outside wall.
I guarantee you Justin thought it did.
Pit road's still closed right now. It'll remain closed for another lap.
Boy, that's a...
When they came down pit road, they did take 4 tires fuel and raise the track bar, and he's come from the rear to 4th in about 30 laps. Caution's out, guys.
Yeah, wreck on the racetrack. The 82 and 28 involved in this one. 28's Ryan Ellis. The 82 is Jake Crum.
I wondered how they were keeping going straight, Rick, as hard as they were racing. And I'm talking racing from the lead all the way back to 25th side by
2 trucks there. 82 of Jake Crum has several flat tires. See Jimmy Weller, the 08, narrowly avoiding both of those trucks getting by.
As did Tyler Young.
Yeah.
So our second caution has come out. While they are clearing things up, let's go back to the LA studios and Don Bell for a Fox Sports 1 news update. Into the quad oval. Green flag back in the air.
How about that 17 truck on the outside lined up with Kyle Busch? Put 2 tires on the first pit stop, maintained a pretty good position, had a good stop on this pit stop, comes out 3rd, and now he's got 2nd.
Got to have a battle from Hornaday back on the bottom, though. We talked about how strong Ron is on these restarts. Be interesting to see if he can battle back and grab that spot away. He's really aggressive on starts. We know that.
Timothy Peters making that high line work, though, for the 17.
And
up the racetrack goes to 30, and he's going to go around. Ron Hornaday spins as they go through 3 and 4.
That was amazing. No one hit him.
Pretty high speeds going down pit road, but they're trying to avoid any incident that might have taken place on track. They check up their speeds. Hornaday is back on track and going the right direction.
A lot of grass in the grill. It's going to have to necessitate a pit stop, but so he's going to drive up beside the 17 of Timothy Peters. Now he's going to start getting loose right there and starting to chase that truck.
Look at Brad Keselowski.
How does he miss him?
Yeah, what an amazing. You saw the smoke underneath the 19 of Brad Keselowski. Let's ride along with him.
Still inside. 29 is looking inside of the line. Inside on the line. Keep coming there. Keep coming. Keep coming high. He's going to go low. Keep coming high. There you go, bud. You're good. You're good.
I got to believe that he probably flat spotted those front tires, wouldn't you say?
He's got to pit. There's no doubt about that. So
how about TJ Majors? He's the spotter for him, saying, keep coming, keep coming. He's going to go low.
Yeah, and you got Brad Keselowski couldn't see. There was smoke everywhere. He was hard on the brakes. He'll have to pit that truck, I'm sure, all throughout this race. So second and third, turning it up a little bit. Oh, trouble off turn 2.
Around goes to 28. That's Ryan Ellis.
That's all the way down into 3.
And that brings the caution out.
Bob. We're wrecked. Just like if you can drive it back to the garage, get it fired up and drive it back, but you're done. You're going to have to drive it back to the garage.
That gets us in a...
Heard me?
Yeah,
he hooked you there.
That had to be a situation where maybe someone was on the outside and clipped it.
It'll be 48 when they get to the start-finish line. Let's see if we can see what happens.
Wow.
Came down and got him.
Is that Jake Crum in the 82 truck?
They had an issue earlier. 2 of them spun, bringing out a caution earlier, and maybe that was happy about it.
A little retaliation there or something. That was pretty obvious there.
Very deliberate. That's just taking a guy out.
That's at 165 or 70 miles an hour on exit of the corner. Not really the thing to do.
Leader. But now it's Kyle Busch that gets by him on the outside, and Kyle Busch back in front of the field.
Remember, no tires on all these trucks. Full of fuel, no tires. That usually makes these trucks a little bit looser.
Oh! Into the wall hard as they came out of turn number 2. Around goes Taylor Molson in the 32. Caution out again.
And that was Bubba Wallace getting caught in the back and collected in a huge crash. Ends his night.
We've seen that happen so many times. Yep. Last time out, it was Johnny Sauter. Had trouble on pit road, gets caught up in an accident. Look at all the damage to that 54 truck of Bubba Wallace.
Absolutely nothing he could do. A couple trucks got together ahead of him, and it just collected Bubba into the crash.
Wrong place at the wrong time. Scott Riggs in the 92.
25 years that Ricky Benton wanted to honor him. He
look at that.
Ooh.
Yeah. Scott just tried to move up, and the 32 truck of Taylor Molson was there. There was no room for Scott to move over.
Herman Quiroga did another amazing job getting by the 32.
Take another look. You see Scott Riggs moving up the racetrack just a bit.
Yeah, Taylor Molson definitely had his nose in there. Just squeezed Bubba up into the outside wall. As you mentioned, absolutely nothing Bubba could have done about it. Look at Herman Quiroga.
Wow. Great driving by Herman Quiroga. That was as good as what Brad Keselowski did there. Just made a decision, cut that truck hard, and was able to steer around that crash. Great driving. Look where he is. Up high right there is Quiroga in the yellow truck, and then he has to cut all the way to the bottom, and then he has to go even lower yet.
And he had a truck on the inside of him.
So close. Let's ride along with him, see what that kind of a ride was looking like.
I don't know if I want to, Rick.
1. See it. Inside.
Yeah, that was a 21 of Joey Coulter on his inside.
You could hear him gas it up too, Phil, once he got to the bottom. He knew he needed to get on by.
So Taylor Molson out of the 32. He
second, third, and fourth, but John West Townley is going to get in the middle of it. 3 wide.
John West Townley, a little contact, and into the grass goes the 29 of Blaney. 7 of Brian Eichler also involved. Contact took Ryan Blaney down into the grass. He flew up in the air and into the outside wall he went.
Yeah, Brian Eichler came along with absolutely nowhere to go.
Needs to stop that truck. It's on fire.
Yeah.
It might not stop. I'd pull over in the grass, though. That'll help put it out.
As you mentioned, the flames continue to roll out from underneath the 7 of Eichler. He needs to get unstrapped and out of that vehicle.
Already has the window net down. You see him take the steering wheel.
Squeeze and See if we can see what happens. You can see Blaney to the bottom. Maybe John West doesn't know he's down there, tries to get in behind Jeb Burton, and bam, runs Blaney into the grass and takes Brian Eichler with him.
That's reminiscent of
Dale
Earnhardt Jr. at Texas earlier
exactly
this year, where he just nosed in that grass, shot him up the racetrack.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. John West was just going to follow that 13 truck, had no idea that the 29 of Ryan Blaney was there. And look at that truck jump up in the air.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Look at Brian Eichler coming along with absolutely nowhere to go. Ryan Blaney's just along for the ride at this point and squeezes Brian Eichler up into the outside wall hard.
7th caution of the night. Once again, keep your eye on the 5, John West Townley. As he's following that 13, they go through the quad oval and the 13 goes down, so the 5 tries to follow.
Yeah, Ryan had his right front fender all the way up to the door of that 5 truck of John West Townley. I just think the spotter didn't alert John West that somebody was there, and John West didn't catch it out of the corner of his eye. A bad angle too. Ryan hit that wall with some bad angle.
Let's ride along with Austin Dillon and watch the carnage. Look at that.
The dirt. Yeah, look at the dirt on the camera, and he was 100 yards behind him.
There's Ben Kennedy. Ben does a nice job avoiding this.
Still clear. Go low. Go low. Coming back down. Coming back down.
He had to get in between those 2 trucks as they came off the outside wall.
Work.
Nice work is right. Wow. That's 2 weeks in a row for Ryan Blaney and Brian Eichler. And
big crashes.
Flag back in the air.
Want to see how quick these guys with fresh tires can make their way to the front.
Got those tires on Ron Hornaday. He restarted 11th.
Got a long way to go, Phil, but pick off 4 or 5 of them, catch another caution. They could really be part of this story as we race to the checker.
Well, Johnny Sauter got a little bump in the back from who got a trouble.
Hornaday goes the 30 of Hornaday. Hornaday into the outside wall. Mason Mingus also involved in this.
As well as the 82.
Jake Crum. So the 8th caution has come out.
Look at the right front of that truck.
Ron Hornaday came in here as only one of 2 drivers with top 10 finishes in all 3 races this year. Let's look at Mason Mingus's truck.
Hornaday's truck was all the way up in his windshield, Phil.
Yeah. Look at the damage to the 8 post, which is the wind. Yeah, let's see what happened. There's Hornaday on the outside of the 30 truck. It's going by the 31 to Ben Kennedy. Drives down to the corner. It looks like just tried to go to the bottom and just didn't quite have the 31 clear to Ben Kennedy. These guys came along with nowhere to go. Had no idea there was a truck going to slide up in front of them. Ron saw it clogging up on the high side, so he wanted to go down to the bottom, but unfortunately Ben was down there and just had his nose up beside the quarter panel of Hornaday's truck.
Look at this truck. All the way up into the windshield is his left rear tire.
Yeah, nowhere for Mason Mingus to go in the 35, and then Jake Crum comes along in the 82 trying to check up as well.
There's the contact, the initial contact, almost before they got down to the corner.
Ben Kennedy would have had no idea that Ron was going to switch lanes on him. We're going to hop in Ben Kennedy's truck and see what he saw.
Outside. Keep digging. Come on.
Yeah. Heads up move.
Caution's out. Caution.
Heads up move by Ben Kennedy to get back in the
5 times before he has won at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and now he's a mile and a half away from win number 6.
Oh, we got a crash off turn 4.
Crash off of 4. Jeb Burton is involved in it.
Yellow's out.
The white flag has flown.
And that means the race is going to finish just like they're running right now on the racetrack.
Something sitting on the infield smoking. I believe that came off of the 13 of Jeb Burton.
Maybe a piece of, no, that's pretty big chunk right there, isn't it?
Yeah, Jeb needs to shut that baby down and hop out.
That's the radiator.
That's the radiator.
Radiator of the truck is sitting on the infield.
That's a fairly important part.
Yeah. How about the win by Kyle Busch? A dominant performance tonight. He'll come back and get the
Check this out. Armand had a hole on the bottom, and Jeb tried to hang in there, and just everybody ran out of room coming to the white flag.
You see the radiator fly out from under that 13 truck.
Hop on board the 77 of Ramon Quiroga.
We heard the 77 get out of the throttle, so it might not have been a situation where Jeb drove it up in there. Maybe the 77 of Quiroga got out of the throttle a little bit, and Jeb wasn't expecting that. What great camera views there. You see all the water flying coming out of that truck. So his last time out in both the truck and the ARCA Racing Series event in Toledo.
Ryan Blaney in the 29, looking to go to the inside of that 5 of John West Townley.
I think the last time.
And around goes the 35 of Mason Mingus.
Oh, great job by Gray Galding to miss Mingus. We talked about self-cleaning in the opening. That's an example of it. You just can't hardly keep that truck off the inside wall if you lose control.
That's exactly what happened with Brian Silas. He had to have some more room, and he pushed Mason Mingus up into the gray where there hasn't been any rubber put down.
Watch the 20 truck, I believe.
I'm not sure he didn't get a little bit of a piece of that, did he, Michael? Let's see.
Just
might have bumped him just a bit at the end. So the first caution comes out. Mason Mingus was in the 20th spot. You see flat tires on that truck as he'll take it to the attention.
Here a few weeks ago and tested with Tyler Reddick. Said he did a nice job here.
Yeah, he's matching.
Around goes the 63. So Justin Jennings is going to bring out our second caution.
I'm surprised they don't spin out more the way these boys drive so hard. I mean, really aggressive early in the going.
And Michael, remember, the sun's out now. These guys had overcast skies.
Taking another look at what happened.
Same down on the inside. Just ran out a little bit of room down there. Jimmy Weller squeezed him down just a touch.
Look at Jake Crum just barely getting by on the outside. We almost wiped out the 08 and the 07 in one swoop.
There was a little bit of contact, too. You could see the rear bumper on the 07 as it went by. Tough break, though, for Justin Jennings.
A little bit of debris flying off of the 63. So they're working on.
Wow, Tyler Reddick drives hard down into turn 3 and takes that spot away.
Been very impressed early on. Woo!
Yep.
3 wide.
Joey Coulter, he was up high, and now we see Brian Silas sideways. That'll bring the caution flag out once again.
Nice job. You don't often spin here without hitting anything. The racetrack doesn't give them a whole lot of room, and that's going to get Brandon loose on the inside like we see so many times, guys.
And so the third caution has come out. This one was quick. Brian Silas goes sideways here at the Monster Mile. Now let's go to L.A. and a Fox Sports 1 news break with Cole Wright.
I think there was a mistake coming to pit road by Armand Quiroga. He we got a crash on the front straightaway. Brendan Newberry hard.
9 of Brendan Newberry hard into the wall, and a lot of damage to the front of that truck. The 51 had already committed to pit road. Hermie Sadler.
They told Kyle to go through his pit box and get back on the racetrack. A late call by crew chief Eric Phillips. Kyle had already stopped in his pit box, and they called him back onto the track.
Quiroga came to.
And it just turns his nose towards the inside of the racetrack, and there's no saving it right there, guys. See that hard hit. Rear wheels come off the ground.
Look at that safer barrier just eat that truck up.
At speed.
3,500 pound truck just bounces right up off the ground when it hits that wall.
10. Brendan Newberry bringing out the caution. Big hit on the inside wall.
Look as good as it did before, does it?
It certainly doesn't. Watch this move. Man, we've got racing all over this racetrack. Hornaday been really loose. He gets sideways under his teammate there.
With another teammate behind him.
Yeah.
Could have been huge.
Real close call here.
That's what he's been dealing with all race long.
And the battle for second.
Custer having such a great run here just outside. We're hearing that he's out of fuel. That's way they must not have got it full on his pit stop. They pitted on lap 77. That's only, gosh, what, 55 laps?
Right.
Yeah, didn't get it full.
And he
if he's out of fuel.
Yeah, should be able to go 80 to 85 laps.
He may not. He won't make it back to pit road. I don't think he can get to maybe the end.
And the 30 of Ron Hornaday. A little bit of a close call.
They're racing for position. Ron Hornaday runs up there, sticks his nose inside of Quiroga. Didn't quite have enough room to get up in there, but see Ron get back in the throttle. Wow.
You just don't save them like that very often, Phil. That thing was out of control. Great job, Armand.
We talk about not having any time, any room at this racetrack. That's
Beating down less on this track, and right now, with just 44 laps to go, the time is running down on Johnny Sauter's opportunities to catch up to Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I think right now a lot of these teams are saying,
And into the wall is
Matt
the 88
Crafton.
of Matt Crafton. That's going to bring the caution out again. Big hit for Crafton. Running in the second spot. Right side of that truck destroyed.
That was only 20 laps after a last pit stop. Remember, this is a ThorSport entry. Bob Dillner showed us the inside rim of the 13 truck, and I wonder if that could be the same issue here for this 88 truck. Hard hit. Look at right in the middle of your screen there, right at that circle. He's already on his way up to the outside wall. His last did not finish was 47 races ago.
Yeah, true Iron Man of this series.
And you see Johnny Sauter's teammate go by.
But a hard hit there for Matt Crafton.
Look at those tracks. You saw where Johnny went by, where Matt's truck took off toward the top. You could see the abrupt angle. I mean, that was where Matt was probably back wide open on the gas, too.
Timothy Peters right now is parlayed a waiver out up into a 7th position on the lead lap. Oh, trouble!
And sideways goes to 20 of Greg Gaulding. He catches the 32 of Ben Rhodes.
Herman Quiroga got loose down there underneath these drivers.
Just dove in there and turned sideways and hit Gaulding, and that took him right up in front of Rhodes. That's really 2 solid runs. We talked about Gaulding's troubles, but he had soldiered on, as you said, Phil, and then Rhodes was in the top 10.
Yeah, did you see these drivers? They
come down from his truck.
Herman, he's sideways before he even really gets down into the corner. Makes contact with Gray. Gray forces Ben Rhodes up into the outside wall. Herman Quiroga is going to emerge there with very minor damage, just a little bit of fender damage there, and he's probably going to get the free pass.
It's unfortunate for a couple of rookies that have done an amazing job. You watch this thing develop. We talked about how difficult it is to hold your own on the bottom, and Armand dives in.
Yeah, never really even had a shot at making that corner.
No, he never got it to the bottom. You know, he just turned in a little bit late, and there was no way to keep from wrecking.
Yep, went right up and caught up with the 20 of Greg Gaulding, and Gaulding goes around and catches the 32 of Ben Rhodes.
We're getting a report that he is in fact going to get the free pass.
Potentially.
He was the top running truck, not scored on the lead lap.
This time he has the advantage as they go down the backstretch. But again, Tyler Reddick strong on the high side. Final lap of racing. Kyle Busch looking to remain perfect. Starting on the pole again at Dover. Looking for his 4th win of 2014. Coming out of turn number 4. He'll win again.
Let it go, guys.
And the battle for 8th continues coming out of 4. It's going to be that 19 of Tyler Reddick holding on.
He's jeopardizing blowing that tire off, and if that happens, he could tear up his fender.
Way up the racetrack he went.
Whoa. Yeah, I think he had a little bit of a slow leak maybe going in that corner, and then it just got worse as they got towards the center. Nice job catching.
Ron's exit from pit road might have caused a little indecision on Ryan Blaney's part, too. Ron aggressively pulled out into Blaney's line.
Take a look at this as a reason for the caution. That 19 gets into the 57 of Norm Benning, and around he goes.
Wow. Tyler Reddick was running some really fast lap times, making some good time on the track, but he totally misjudged the closing rate he had on Benning and ran into the back of Norm.
Where a couple of drivers did a nice job avoiding that. John West Townley and Justin Lofton both
Check this out. He slides up the hill and almost spins out himself. Spins Norm around.
Look at John West go by on the inside.
There goes
Lofted on the outside.
On the outside.
Be interesting to see if there's any damage to that 19 truck of Reddick.
And here were the pit stops. Let's go to Hermie.
Look at his splitter. See how high the splitter is on the left front.
He was running in the 15th position. There's some contact and right up into the wall.
Oh, also, is that Tyler Reddick as well?
It is. Yeah.
We saw Reddick
check on the inside in the 8 truck.
We saw Reddick spinning.
He's got a half a second lead over Matt Crafton. Hornaday still holding on to third. And the caution has come out. Now it's for the 19. We saw contact earlier with that truck.
Straight to us.
All three of the trucks that were in that skirmish off turn 4 have had problems. I think maybe that was a right front there for Reddick as well. Hermie, what are they saying in the Nemechek pit? Contact?
Yeah, contact on the racetrack, flat right front tire. They got right side tires on it. A little bit of damage, but that's
outside wall.
Take another look at what happened.
Up on top of your screen, you can see right there, the right front goes down, the truck sparking off the road and into the outside wall.
Yeah, nothing a driver can do when that happens. You have really no control over it. But again, that was all precipitated by that contact between the 8 truck, the 35 truck, and the 19 all getting together.
Very good to see when the caution comes out here, the lights on the poles actually light up as well to let the driver.
I was talking to Ryan and his crew down in the garage area this morning, and he actually went out and ran. Herman Quiroga.
Smoke rolling out from underneath the 77, and that will end the top 10 streaks for Herman Quiroga.
Yeah, pretty rare, too. We don't see that Red Horse bunch lose very many engines.
Terry. Yeah, we're blowing up. What do you got there, Herman? Looks like the motor grenaded.
And the 17 also with issues. 2 trucks out of the Red Horse Racing stables.
He's gotten to the outside wall. You see the damage on the right rear. Wow, a lot.
Looking for now as they cross the stripe.
Like 14 seconds.
White flag in the air. One more time around for Crafton. 14 seconds the gap behind him to Lofton. Coulter also on the same schedule. He's running in the 3rd spot. Joe Nemechek is 4th. He's 18 seconds back.
And John West Townley, the only other truck not to come to pit road in the top 5.
The final lap. Can he make it all the way through 3 and 4?
He can coast home from there, Rick. He's going to make it. He's going to make it.
Matt Crafton.
What I'm talking about, boys. Now that was a whooping. Thank you, boys.
How about that? Crafton winning in Texas.
Good job, Matt Crafton, David Pepper.
Joy, it looked like, went up. Oh, Bubba Wallace to the lead. Passes Kyle Busch. How many times did you see that happen?
Darrell Wallace Jr. now on point. Caution has come out. So the 5 of John West Townley gets into the wall in turn 1. The pass takes place. Darrell Wallace Jr. gets in front of Kyle Busch. And
John West and his team are up against. You can see Corey LaJoie is sideways just in front of John West Townley. I'm sure that was distracting to John West. I don't know if they made any contact, but Corey was about to have the same. Oh, there's some debris. That looks like
I think it came off the 88 we're hearing. Potentially something off the 88 came off as far as debris.
Here's a pass for the lead. Kyle got a little bit wide on exit at number 2. And Bubba was able just to drive right on by. About this time, then the caution flag came out.
There's another look at it.
Just the 54 here. 2 back to the 13, 3 back to the 13. Just the 54.
Yeah, spotter telling him that there's a gap in between those 2 trucks that he's able to get into. And you have the bumps to accentuate that situation as well. Jeremiah's going to pull up in front of Timothy Peters, but Timothy had some momentum. He's going to try to drive by on the outside.
And the caution comes out once again as we have a truck sliding right up to the start-finish line. That's the 99 of Brian Silas.
Yeah, Silas had a strong qualifying run up inside the top 20, but it got away from him off 4, which is easy to have happen. Watch this thing just jump around.
It just jumps right into the 35 truck of Mason Mingus. Then he turns it hard left to try to stay off Mason.
And through the grass he slides, keeps it straight, and we'll line him back up. Almost 2 seconds between himself and Darrell Wallace Jr.
Caution.
And the caution has come out.
Oh,
into the wall hard is John West Townley in the 5.
We talked about John West in the free pass position and soldiering along after getting into the outside wall early, and thought he had a chance of getting that lap back.
Good.
See, down in the groove there, just gets away from him. And it's amazing how quick, with this relatively flat racetrack, how quick those trucks make their way to the outside wall. Not a lot of banking there to slow the speed down any.
You know, that looked...
Truck was much, much better, but he's had some really good finishes recently. They feel like they're on the upswing, and he said tonight, oh, problem, Jeb Burton is in the wall in the Estes Toyota.
Got 13, got into the wall, coming through 3 and 4, and so that brings the caution out once again. It's the 5th caution of the night.
Jeb was running in the 11th spot. We saw him up running.
Take another look and see what happens.
Oh, like just got sideways. He was racing with Taylor Malsom in the 32 truck,
and then had it saved, had it sliding in the right direction, and unfortunately snapped around and went the wrong way right there.
They did a nice job of getting it slowed down a little bit, because that truck could have really hit hard.
So does this favor Brad Keselowski? Because he wasn't on pit road in the most recent caution. Now he's going to be able to come onto pit road, and he won't have to come back down to pit road. Yeah, so is it too early for the other guys, though?
No, everybody can go the rest of the way from here. We know Brad has 2.
He goes. The next flag ends this race. Kyle Busch out in front, looking for his 5th win of the 2014 season.
Talk about dominating a series when he's in it. Wow.
No one has had anything for Kyle Busch when he has entered a truck race. Such a dominant performance, and it doesn't just end in the 2014 season. He won in 2013 as well. Kyle Busch will win again in Kentucky. Good battle side by side for position. Austin Dillon.
He's talking about how he was tight. It just wouldn't turn. I think that was pretty good evidence of it there. You saw.
Oh, and in the wall. The 63 of Justin Jennings.
Well, that yellow truck, John West-Townley, did a nice job avoiding that 63. John had to go to the back of the pack for the start because of unapproved adjustments.
That was hard contact.
What's right side of your screen?
It's hard to tell. Maybe he just got
that other white truck. Maybe it made some contact with him.
He was trying to race under the black truck there just ahead. Oh, a little contact maybe got loose on the inside of the black truck as they raced off turn 4.
That's what it looked like. See if we can take a look from behind to get another view of it. Already contact, possibly already. That's right. Mason Mingus that looked like 11 before you dig.
Looks like maybe Jennings was trying to get under Mingus, got a little bit loose, and wham, hard into the wall.
Very unfortunate for a team. Matt Crafton bringing the field out of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air.
See Reddick in the back. He laid back a little bit to get that thing wound up, so they didn't give up so much time on the restart. Now he's passing some trucks.
He did a pretty good job doing it too.
Ryan Blaney in the 29 trying to hang on to that 2nd spot.
Oh, Eric Jones was slipping around down there in turns 1 and 2. A couple of trucks getting a run on Jones.
Crafton trying to do something he had never done before, win back-to-back races. John Hunter Nemechek able to get by the 29 of Ryan Blaney, and Hunter Nemechek seems to be closing in on that 88. Oh, and into the wall goes the 07. So Ray Black Jr.
And he was on the lead lap. He was being shown in the 6th position. Tough break for him.
Caught a great break with not.
See him driving down on the outside of Cole Custer. Cole gets a little bit loose on the inside, makes contact with Black.
Oh, what a shame.
Sends him around. Could be some damage to the right front of that 00 of Cole Custer.
You can see Custer just gets loose on the bottom, runs into Black. Timothy Peters had to take evasive action there to keep from hitting Custer as he slowed down.
So Cole Custer gets into the 07.
On board. It's going to be a great look at this. Not so much for Black Jr.
Yeah. Down the backstretch, plenty of room here.
Yeah, Black is giving Custer plenty of room as they race. They didn't chase him down the hill. When he got to the corner, he just dove in there like he's supposed to, and Cole got loose. And look at Timothy. He was in the middle there and was able to avoid hitting Custer.
Welcome back to Gateway. A huge hit by Matt Crafton in turn number 4.
Wow, he had just grabbed the lead from John Hunter Nemechek, and it looked like he was driving away from those guys.
Very similar to how his truck looked at Dover.
Turned right hard. Take a look at this.
Something happened on the right front of that truck. Watch this. God, scared me to hit so. Look at that.
Yeah,
Just would not turn.
Had the look of a right front tire going down, and you know, we'd run a long ways here.
We haven't heard any reports of he'd blow off turn 2. It gave Quiroga a chance to run by him. Is there a problem on the 8 truck?
Something's wrong with the 8.
I think the left rear tire.
There he goes. Around goes John Hunter Nemechek.
The left rear tire went down.
That was some of that intense racing between he and Quiroga. I think he finally got it up against him and cut his left rear. Not a lot of damage to that truck.
No, left rear, something's down.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right.
I saw the letters
Keep going.
wiped off it a couple laps ago. There's definitely something wrong. He's a little bit slow there. He seized up Timothy Peters. And you can see when you get a look at it, you can see that left rear tire is down, Michael.
Yeah, and around he goes. But very minimal contact, so he can get to pit road and get a tire on that thing. He can still get a top 10 finish.
Yeah. He never swung around and caught it with the front too, and that's a break.
Yes, sir. I feel like I'm racing.
Looks right along with him.
He just couldn't get any forward drive.
And look at the break that Armand Quiroga caught, because his teammate, Timothy Peters, was right behind Nemechek, and he couldn't get the run off the turn. Johnny Sauter, too, took advantage of the fact that John Hunter Nemechek couldn't get going off turn 2.
John Hunter Nemechek has the 8 down on pit road. They will go to.
That was a scrub. Good work by our camera guys to catch that.
Another look at it right there. You see it get loose on the bottom there. We see it happen so often.
Yep.
There it is right there. What a great shot.
And that's all it takes. That's just tight, close racing. And unfortunately, the 77-4.
Watch Quiroga.
Trying to block is the 54. Darrell Wallace Jr. 3 wide as they go into turn number 1. Here comes Armand Quiroga. Eric Jones has the lead as they come out of turn number 2. Little bobble for him, and around goes Eric Jones.
Quiroga turned Eric Jones around.
Caution comes out. The 51 had bobbled just as he was coming out of turn number 2, and I think Quiroga was still hard on the gas.
Wow, a lot of damage to Eric Jones's truck. I really think Bubba made a mistake restarting from the inside, guys.
Wow.
And a wrecked truck for Eric Jones, racing for the lead.
Top of your screen, that was the contact.
There you
It
go.
is right here.
Jones on the top of the racetrack. He
He does bobble right there, Rick. You're exactly right. That slowed his momentum just enough, and Quiroga was right there.
And as you mentioned, a hard hit on that inside wall, but
check this angle out. Jones hard on the gas.
There's the bobble.
And up the track he went, but Quiroga had the option to get out of the gas a little bit there. Obviously, going for the lead, it's a lot different.
And he figures if he gets out of the gas that he's going to lose his momentum. The guys behind him are going to try to make a move on him.
It definitely wasn't intentional on Quiroga's part, I don't believe. I think he just was dead on the gas, and as soon as Eric Jones bobbled.
Junior looking for his second win. Armand Quiroga still looking for the first win.
It's like Joey Coulter got bounced off the wall coming off of 4.
Going into turn number 1, the gap is 3 truck lengths. Now here comes Quiroga, closing that gap up as they go down the backstretch.
What a strong run off turn 2 Quiroga had. Hooked that bottom perfectly. He's going to get to the back of Darrell Wallace.
It's going to be close as they come through 3 and 4. Armand Quiroga, Darrell Wallace Jr. coming out of turn number 4. Will he have enough room? Darrell Wallace Jr. is going to hold him off. Darrell Wallace Jr. wins again in the Truck Series.
Better. These adjustments could be key.
Dustin Hapka in the 74 got turned around in turns 3 and 4, and that was the reason for the caution. It became the competition caution that was supposed to come on lap 45, but NASCAR deemed it close enough. And after 42 laps are complete, this is the competition caution.
That
Hapka's going to make his way on the pit road. Ryan Blaney's on board.
Isn't it fun watching those guys bounce around, knowing they're right on the edge of control, doing everything they can?
Oh,
Trouble.
Around goes the 23. Spencer Gallagher bringing out the second caution of the night.
Did I say on the edge of control?
That's a little
Just
bit over there.
past the edge of control.
He went just over it. Gallagher was running inside the top 20 on the lead lap. He was running 16th that time. At the time of that, Warrior Spencer Gallagher.
On the inside of Johnny Sauter, Spencer Gallagher goes around and brings out the caution. Fox Sports support. Custer, and now it's Timothy Peters on the inside of Ron Hornaday.
Looks like Timothy Peters is going to be able to clear Hornaday. Oh, no, he didn't! He got
Into the wall.
Squeezed in the fence.
17 of Timothy Peters. Didn't clear the 30 of Ron Hornaday, and both have damage.
That's a situation where I'm sure Timothy Peters said, you know, I'm almost clear. All he needed was just a little bit of break, and Ron didn't give it to him.
Oh, and around goes the 30. Timothy Peters not happy with the way he was being raced. The pace car is coming up close to him. Take another look at what happens.
See, Timothy Peters looked like he had him cleared for a moment. Then as he moved up the racetrack, Hornaday just barely had his nose there, and it turned Timothy into the outside wall.
It did look like the 17 had cleared the 30 as they were coming out, and right here you see it. He wasn't clear enough.
They went on around the racetrack, and Timothy Peters got into. That's almost at the start-finish line before the contact is made.
If Ron, I don't think Hornaday let off. I think he just thought he still had the track position and didn't want Timothy taking it away from him. And
they get together down the backstretch. That brings out the caution flag. See the damage on both trucks. There's Timothy getting into Ron Hornaday. Timothy took his truck straight to the garage area as he came off of the racetrack.
Garage area in between turns 1 and 2 here at Iowa Speedway for the trucks. Again, Timothy getting into the back of the 30, showing his displeasure at what took place on the front stretch.
Let's take a ride along with Jeb Burton in the 13 Estes truck, and you can see the spin there on the back straightaway. Jeb saying, let's get this sorted out, fellas.
And there was a little contact with some trucks just in front of Jeb, but behind the two, the 17 and the 30 that were obviously.
And he only worries about the 51 of Eric Jones because he has a huge trouble. Caution's going to come out right now.
The 12 goes around. That is Eric Cottle. And Eric
left rear tire is gone on that truck.
Looked as though he was going to catch it, but back into the infield he goes. Caution comes out with 75 to go.
How about that horrible break for the 54 Bubba Wallace?
Yeah, he's going to be 2 laps down. He'll wave around for one of those laps, but
he's still going to find himself 1 lap down.
Yeah.
That's Brian Silas, who's having a great run here. He's on the inside of Cottle, and just that little bit of contact right there probably ripped the valve stem out of that tire.
And you could see the leader was right behind Silas. Silas is on the lead lap, running in the 12th spot. He was trying to make a forced play down to the inside of the lap truck of Cottle, made contact, spun him around, and Ryan Blaney was right on their tailgate.
That leaves us with just 12 trucks right now on the lead lap. We'll have a
truck be going away from him as they get a little later. 3 wide for the lead.
Watch these trucks out of control. Look at Blaney sideways into Jones, but yet they didn't come off the gas at all.
Right along with Ryan Blaney.
You can hear the rear tires spinning on that 29 truck. What amazing driving by these young drivers.
And the crew chief thinks he's got it. Just not quite enough. And Eric Phillip.
White flags in the air.
1 more to go for Eric Jones. That's the gap between 1 and 2. Ryan Blaney running second. Eric Jones trying to keep the 51 dominance going in 2014. And trying to get back to victory lane as he works his way through 3 and 4.
No pressure right here.
Eric Jones wins for the 2nd time in his career.
Yeah, baby!
The battle for 3rd. Joey Coulter's going to try the high line to get by the 88 of Crafton. Crafton hangs on for 3rd.
Good job.
Going back back even further as we see the 3 of Ty Dillon going by. What's going on, Ray?
Eric Jones just came on the radio and said the right rear is going down. Right rear going down, and the yellow flag is out. That'll be a big break for him.
Caution does come out. We saw that right rear go down, completely down.
Yeah, truck isn't going to go away that fast.
The ride Eric Jones had, though, is that right rear tire went away.
What about Johnny Sauter? Okay, how's this going to end well for me? Seems slide that right front or left front tire.
Tyler Reddick watching as he makes it into turn 3.
When Johnny stops because he doesn't know exactly what Eric Jones is going to do, watch Tyler Reddick just turn left and drive by them both.
And Jeb listened well, and look at him leading the race. Oh, got a spinner. It's Eric Jones.
Eric Jones around again, right in front of the flag stand. Caution comes out.
Holy cow, I cannot believe he didn't hit anything or nobody hit him. Did you see that?
It looked like Brian Silas might have got a piece of the wall or possibly the 51 truck there, but
as he was spinning.
Maybe he's going to spin and win, huh?
Around he went.
Oh, Silas into the outside wall.
Possibility of Brian Silas getting the wall, definitely. And everyone took advantage of it.
Look at Ron Hornaday. Remember, Ty Dillon kind of used Ron up a little bit when he made his way by him.
I can tell Ron remembers it. And look at Jeff Burton.
He's reminding Ty Dillon of it. The caution comes out.
Kyle Larson bounced off the fence about the time the caution flag came out.
Kyle had got up into the 5th position. Johnny Sauter was 6th.
Don't worry about that.
Might have come out from under the 54 truck.
It looked like the 54. This is Joey Coulter we're riding along with.
Oh, and there's a piece right there. It's out of one of the BKR trucks. Looks like the 19 of Tyler Reddick. Watch Kyle Larson here.
Flying up in the air.
He hits the debris, and then does he hit the wall afterwards?
He's going to bounce off the wall right there. The damage to the front end of that Glad truck.
Eric Jones has problems over 3 and 4. It looks like another flat tire, possibly for the 51 truck.
It looks like right tire.
Ty Dillon just got into the wall. The caution comes out. Left rear tire down for Ty Dillon.
It's a heck of a day at sea, sir. Everything started going all crazy.
Maybe from that contact, the tire goes down on the 3.
Check this out. Hornaday makes the slide job, pays back the slide job. Larson looks like he shoots in the corner just a little bit too hard into the wall, loses his momentum, and Ty Dillon was just right there and hit him.
And that's what cut his left rear tire down when he went around the outside of Kyle Larson.
Yep, caught that left rear tire with the front of the 32.
Right at the last instant, right there, and that's what cut down that left rear tire for Ty Dillon.
So Ty Dillon is on pit road. He will have to change the left side tires. It looks like they might change all 4 tires. Bob Dillon.
Danny Stockman, the crew chief.
Good job on Ron Hornaday. Will he try the same move on Darrell Wallace Jr. to get the lead?
Here he comes right here.
Into turn 1. Tries the slide job. Makes the pass into the wall. Here comes Bubba Wallace on the inside. Side by side, the fans are on their feet. Caution comes out.
There was a truck turned around right there, right in front of them as they raced off of turn 2.
How could that truck possibly withstand?
They're still racing.
They haven't decided who's going to have the lead yet.
Out, back it down.
Yeah, it isn't up to them to decide. That's a NASCAR call. I don't understand their.
You still had the advantage. Down the back stretch they go as that truck was right there.
Oh, by the way. Listen.
As soon as he hit the wall, he gassed it up.
Unbelievable.
And they're still arguing over who was the leader. Darrell Wallace Jr. might pass the pace truck.
Here comes the battle for the lead.
Jody Knowles in the 80 was facing the wrong way.
Check out my right side.
Quickly as they are turning laps, they're closing in on the back of the field.
This is amazing. Oh!
Larson into the wall hard again.
That had to do him in, didn't it?
You would think so.
He stays in the gas. 3 laps of racing to go.
That might be just enough gas for Bubba Wallace here.
The fans know Something big is about to happen. Everyone on their feet for the final 3 laps. Can Darrell Wallace Jr. hang on, get his 3rd career win? Or will it be Kyle Larson, who came back to Eldora wanting to get that victory?
Oh, that's it.
Slams off the wall coming out of turn number 4. That might be all he's got. 2 laps of racing to go, and it looks as though the right front broke on Kyle Larson's truck. Can he limp around? Here comes Ron Hornaday to take 2nd away.
What an effort, though.
Darrell Wallace Jr. has a full straightaway in front of Ron Hornaday. The white flag in the air. Darrell Wallace Jr. has put on a clinic here at Eldora Speedway on dirt. He has been out front for 97 laps. The 98th is coming now. Checkered flag for Darrell Wallace Jr.
Holy cow! Eldora! No way!
First caution of the day comes out on lap 16 for Ray Black Jr. in the 08 truck. He was running in the 26th position.
I think the most difficult turn in all of NASCAR. And you can see just thing bobbles in the middle, and it just upset the truck enough to where it comes around, and Ray tries to hold on to it, but unfortunately catches that inside wall. There was a time when that wall wasn't there, Phil.
Yeah.
I've seen some people
a lot of grass.
Get sideways in that grass, so that's good safety. It wasn't a good break for Ray Black Jr. because of the damage, but safety is more important.
So, Michael, Phil, how does this affect the strategy?
Larson's going to pit.
Ray Dunlap.
Matt Crafton is coming in. He said his truck was really going wicked tight, so they're going to make an air pressure and track bar adjustment.
The caution came out for the 2nd time with 14 laps remaining. The number 59 truck of Kyle Martell hits turn 1 after a flat left rear. Martell 2 laps down in the
Looks like a left rear tire goes down on the front straightaway. He knows he's got a problem there, tries to slow down, but watch this thing get to wobbling and turn into the outside wall.
He was really pretty fortunate. You see it, there's a lot of damage to that truck. But if he would have been down on the bottom of the racetrack and cut that left rear tire down, that thing would have hit the wall a ton. So as bad as it is, it could have been a lot worse. But now what are we going to do?
Yeah, how does this affect the outcome of this?
Head on the inside, but Bubba's going to hang on the outside.
Have to go through that tunnel turn side by side. Looks like they're going to make it.
Oh, trouble. Tyler Reddick turned around by Armand Quiroga.
3rd caution of the day comes out on lap 53.
Just got turned by the 77.
Yet another caution and a restart within the last 10 laps of this race.
We told you, didn't we?
Yep.
Tough break, though, for Tyler Reddick. Such a good run, strong run.
Had gotten his lap back.
Got his lap back, made a track position.
What happened?
See, Reddick gets a good run here off the corner.
Oh, and just gets loose.
Gets loose. And
I don't know if Quiroga was trying to regain control of his truck or said, you run into me, I'm going to run into you back.
Let's take a look from Ryan Blaney's perspective.
He just tries to make the move on the inside of...
got loose before he ever got there, didn't he, Michael?
Yes, he did.
I think it was a situation where the 77 was just trying to regain control and moved down to the inside and caught the right rear quarter panel on that 19 truck and turned him into the outside wall.
That's possible.
And that was a battle for the 6th position.
Both those guys have done a great job all day long, but we saw Reddick, you remember earlier in the race when he dove into turn 1 on that restart, got loose on the bottom. We know how tough it is to hold your lane on the bottom. Tyler Reddick, a young man, not having many super speedway starts, isn't used to that feeling. When he dove to the inside, he said, I'm sticking good, I'm going to make this move. All of a sudden, that... And the
Green flag.
Yingling truck needs a push from Johnny Sauter. But Eric Jones is going to want to take a left here, Phil, and get around Boyer.
See Blaney pull out here. Several trucks pulling out of line.
Boyer's got a good run.
Remember, he can get loose down on the bottom, too. Austin has the momentum from the high side.
So Dillon to the front, followed by Clint Boyer.
Here comes Matt Crafton. He's going to make it 3 wide going to the tunnel.
Eric Jones in the 51. Crafton's in the 88 right behind him, on board with Crafton.
Great move by Jones. He clears Sauter. That was a strong move. They're wrecking behind them. You heard Brett Griffin, the spotter, talk about Armand Quiroga crashing from.
I wonder if that might have had anything to do with the 19 truck.
So caution out for the 4th time. More damage to the 77 of Armand Quiroga.
Eavesdropping on the radio there, and spotter Brett Griffin said they're wrecking behind you, buddy.
Look right side of your screen.
Whoa.
It looked like the 0-2 of Tyler Young got into the wall. It looked like the 19 truck was involved with that. Then the 19 truck came off of that and made contact with the 77.
I just think the 19 truck tried to wreck him once, didn't work, so he wrecked him again.
Wow.
Yeah. Obviously, he felt like the contact earlier was intentional.
Well, it wasn't. He just got loose, and the 19 truck, like I said, just Tyler Reddick just wiped out Armand Quiroga.
Yeah. And Tyler Young was an innocent victim there in the 0-2 truck.
And Tyler Young is, like I said earlier, he's been strong. He keeps getting better.
White flag for Austin Dillon. Can he break the Toyota dominance?
The next flag will end this thing, even if we have a problem.
Look at Matt Crafton all the way back outside the top 10.
He got down in the dirt over in turn number 3. Now he's in the outside of a 3-wide battle.
Ben Kennedy side by side. He gets underneath Joey Coulter.
Spencer Gallagher in that 23 truck. There's Jeb Burton, the 13 truck. Matt Crafton is dropping like a stone.
Austin Dillon headed for turn 3.
Is the Toyota dominance over?
Here.
Good job, guys.
Austin Dillon with a checkered flag.
So proud of y'all. That's awesome. Thank you,
His 6th win in the Camping World Truck Series, the former series champion.
What a great run for Johnny Sauter.
Moved by Brad Keselowski, 13 laps into the race.
Back it down outside wall here.
Trouble in turn 2.
Outside wall and drug onto the apron.
Oh.
2 trucks involved, the 0-1 of Jake Brom.
Timothy Peters.
Damage.
That's the penalty
Here,
from
pit road's open. Pit road's open.
That's the danger.
That's the danger and penalty from going to the back of the pack.
Right rear. No fuel. No fuel. We'll get the damage done.
First caution coming out on lap 15.
I believe the 99 of Brian Silas. That is Brian. That was in.
Timothy Peters involved as well. Let's take another look.
Fighting for space down on the bottom of the racetrack. The 0-1 got in to Brian Silas. Timothy Peters had committed to the top, tried to get it slowed down, wasn't able to before making contact with Jake Crum.
You can see TJ Bell and Tyler Young both went to the top, and it was clear by the time they got there, there was just no way Timothy could get down that quickly.
Timothy Peters had made it up to the 25th position, but damage to his number 7 for 3rd. Ron Hornaday has it. Bubba Wallace wants it.
Yeah, Bubba's been strong this entire race. That's sideways. There's some contact.
Calling the 0-5. John West Townley into the wall twice. Caution is out for the 4th time on lap 145.
They looked like they just couldn't get away from each other. They got together coming off turn 2. Something may have happened earlier in 1 and 2.
I was watching it, Phil, as they drove into turn 1. Townley went up the hill to try to crowd a little bit. He was trying to get that spot away from the 20 of Gaulding, so he went in high and just simply got loose in the center of the corner, and that began what ended a wreck down into turn 3. If you wonder how a wreck happens, well, that one started in the middle of 1 and 2 and ended into turn 3. Guys have been battling side by side. Look, Townley tries to enter high, gets sideways there, and that begins it.
Brendan Newberry able to sneak by on the outside.
Brandon Jones and Justin Boston were just in the wrong place at the wrong time at Bristol. You can see Newberry all out of shape, but still hangs on to his truck.
Yeah, watch the 33, and he's going to try to get by on the inside, and John West Townley is there.
And he gets hit on the inside as well. Both sides of that 33 truck pretty well used up.
Keselowski through turn 4. White flag for the 19.
Bubba got a little bit loose off of turn 4, cost him another couple truck lengths.
Down the backstretch, Keselowski into 3.
He's going to do it, Steve.
off of turn 4. Brad Keselowski will win for the first time in the Camping World Truck Series.
Did it, boys. We did it. Thank you, everybody. Way to bounce back from last week.
We are back live north of the border, and some problems over there in turn 5 for the 36. That would be Justin Jennings, who went for a ride through the grass. And as he did that, Andrew Ranger crossed the start-finish line, completing our 16th lap. He is the race leader.
This battle has been hectic.
Whoa,
Oh, got a
now.
spinner. There's Jennings again, right in front of that side-by-side battle between Custer and Jones.
Cole Custer was able to make that pass on the 50 when they've been battling hard since they came off pit road. There it is. He picks the right side and does not get by without some contact.
You sure he picked the right side?
Yeah.
Look at Tagliani to the inside. He's going to hit Custer.
Custer around in turn 5.
And you knew it was going to happen. That's kind of been what's followed Alex Tagliani throughout his career. And when he starts running these NASCAR races, he's not afraid to put the bumper to you.
Tough break for Cole Custer. Had the issue on pit road. Had to make the pass-through penalty. Have to make a run at it and say with 10 to go in case it doesn't work out. So you have more. And there's another one around. That's going to be the 19 of Alex Tagliani.
Looks like everyone's going to be able to avoid him. They're all going by on the inside now.
So 2 of our front runners on the restart taken out.
There's 2 more coming. If you can roll.
Hard run at this win late.
Turn 5 is where it's happened since we went back green. Right there, Tagliani into Cole Custer.
See, Cole Custer took his normal line in, and he was dive bombed by the 19 of Alex Tagliani. There it is right there. It wasn't a situation, I don't think, where Alex was intentionally trying to spin out the 00 of Cole Custer, but he was committed to driving to the inside there, and around Cole went. Looking out the back, yeah.
Armand Quiroga.
There, 1 to go in Canada.
I think that was practice right there.
And that white flag is big for Blaney because now he knows no green-white checker. They're playing a different strategy.
But you remember Ty Dillon a year ago, his truck started to sputter a bit on the last lap, and that enabled Chase Elliott to get to the inside of him.
Been 33 laps since that 29 truck was on pit road. Remember, we've had a number of caution laps. They feel confident they can get to the end here, but can he hold them off?
Look at these 2 slipping and sliding sideways, desperately racing toward the checkered flag.
Blaney clean down through turn 4 and up to the hairpin at turn 5. Quiroga closes in, but Blaney has been so strong off the corner. He gets a nice pull here, and one final time they head down the long back straightaway.
But watch this 77 of Quiroga. He's been really fast on this long back straightaway, using the draft to try to pull alongside Blaney. He's right there, Phil.
Boy, this is deja vu of a year ago.
See Ryan Blaney.
He's to the outside.
Quiroga to the outside as they head to turn 8. Blaney trying to hold him off. Quiroga going to have the inside preferred line as they go to turn 9. Armand Quiroga takes the top spot. Blaney tries the crossover. Here they are at turn 10. Armand Quiroga trying to pull him to the start-finish line. As they come to the line, checkered flag, Ryan Blaney by a nose.
Unbelievable. You talking about coal under fire.
You lose. You're watching the Camping World Truck Series on a Saturday night on Fox Sports 2, presented by Lucas Oil. 62 of 150 laps complete tonight, and our second caution of the evening comes out when Norm Benning got into the wall.
Norm had an action-packed few laps there. First of all, the leaders split him off turn 2, and then he goes down to turn 4. I don't know if maybe a right front had an issue or if he just got up over that groove and into the outside wall, but it looks like pretty significant damage.
Yeah, the right front's down, and we've seen
Tires on the Cooper Standard Ford, and he will get a much closer run at Kyle Busch. Here comes the 20, Hermie.
Ray, we should have caution on the racetrack coming up in just a moment. However, the 20 is on his pit stop. Caution is out. The 20 is already in his pit box, so they will complete this stop. This truck has been tight. They're making 4.
And missed pit road and hit the grass. Watch this now. You see him trying to missed a commitment cone. Watch him hit the grass here.
Oh, and look at the damage it does to that truck. We've had a lot of rain in the Chicago area, and that grass just grabbed his splitter and tore the heck out of his truck. Watch Johnny Sauter here as he dipped the pit road, Phil. You can tell he's going way too fast and right.
This in 2 weeks' time at Las Vegas.
40. White flag, 1 more.
White flag for Kyle Busch. 1 more lap around Chicagoland Speedway, and he will have his 4th win in 5 tries at this mile-and-a-half facility.
What a dominating performance by that $51 General Toyota.
You start in the back. You don't sit in the truck until it's time to go green. No problems for the kid out of Las Vegas.
Go to the back.
Way to do it again, boys. Awesome job. Thank you. Nice work, everybody.
Checkered flag, Kyle Busch, a winner at Chicago.
Keep your head on all day.
Let's take a look at some of the issues that Bubba Wallace had with Herman Quiroga, who's a lap down.
Armand's loose right here. Maybe because Bubba bumped him, but sideways.
It certainly added to it, anyway.
It did. It exacerbated his problem.
Yeah. From Matt Crafton's onboard. See Bubba, a little bit of a nudge there, and then a little bit of a nudge on exit. Bubba's trying to use that racetrack up, and Herman was a little bit lower than Bubba thought he was going to be. He could have got hooked into the outside wall there pretty bad.
That'll get your attention.
Bubba maintained stay out longer when they made green flag pit stops.
And look at that truck. He's just operating so smoothly. Oh, TJ Bell up high, and that's going to bring out our first caution of the day.
Boy, and this is going to be right in the window where they may or may not be able to make it from here
To start the race.
Look at the top of your screen. You see TJ Bell. Looks like he may have had an issue. Maybe a tire went down there and just truck went straight. There it is right there. He makes a little bit of contact. He got to slow down a good bit before he got to the safer barrier.
Still left some debris out there.
Brennan Newberry.
Stay out and keep the track position.
So yellow, check, watch it coming down the hill here. 63, check up, check up.
63.
Check up, right here in front of you.
J.R. Hefner hard into that outside.
Ooh, a lot of damage to that number 63 truck.
That's a Miller's brother machine. Tough break for them.
He got the rear clip.
He was running 22nd.
That 9 hit him hard.
They'll try to make something happen.
Oh, wow. Looks like the 9 of Brennan Newberry maybe got in the corner underneath Hefner sideways, and those two trucks made contact, and that's a hard hit. We can see that.
On that initial restart.
You got to like that move by Bubba Wallace. He knows you got to go. Oh, we got to spin. Armand Quiroga's around in turn 4. Keeps that truck going. Oh, he's
coming to your inside, coming to your inside.
I thought the 86 truck of Brown was going to take him out. He was.
See, Armand Quiroga tries to work to the inside. Jared Gordon makes a little bit of contact, then tries to keep that truck off of Jeb's truck, and around it went.
Whoa. How about this job of spinning it around, though, and keeping it going in the right direction? Great job by Ben Kennedy to make a decision to go to the high side and miss the spinning Quiroga.
Great job by Brennan Newberry here.
And what about John Hunter Nemechek? He's battled his way up to the 5th spot. Oh, there trouble.
There goes Newberry.
He gets a hold of Wallace. That opens up the door for Nemechek. He's going to be 3rd when the caution flies. John Hunter Nemechek up to 3rd.
And Crafton's going to have to withstand a restart with Cole Custer beside him.
By side with Bubba Wallace. Can't hold it down. He goes around. We'll be right back.
Coming down to the white flag. That means the next flag will finish this race.
White flag. 1 lap remaining.
Just focus, one more.
Crafton not done yet with Darrell Wallace.
What a story we're going to tell today. Cole Custer battling from outside the top 5, right in the going, and driving away from him at the checker.
Cole Custer off of turn 4.
There you go, young man. Hell of a job.
First career win for Cole Custer. Just his 7th career start.
Oh, you did it, man. Great job. Great job, guys. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Youngest driver to win a NASCAR National Touring Series.
If you're Ryan Blaney and you've got that truck on your outside, and we have trouble behind him. As the leaders cross the start-finish line, completing our 2nd lap, coming off of turn 4, it was the 15 of Mason Mingus who had problems.
A new team for Mason Mingus. You see, he brought his sponsorship over. The Call Before You Dig 811. He brought it over to Billy Boat Motorsports. We know Billy Boat.
I'm surprised more people don't spin out.
Just 2 laps in our first caution of the night. It's for Mason Mingus. Green flag when we return to Las Vegas.
Between Gallagher and Sauter, we know how fast this 51 truck is with Kyle Busch behind the wheel. Oh, we got a spinner.
Second caution of the night. It's for the 99 of Brian Silas. He too was exiting turn 4 when he got into the infield grass, was running 17th when he had his issue.
We've completed 13 laps right now. Sometimes if we would get close to 30.
And a half race inside the top 10 at Chicagoland. Had a top 10 run earlier this year at Texas as well.
Wow, he just got loose up off the turn. And how's that feel? I mean, you're coming off a corner, probably running 160 miles an hour, and the thing just snaps around on you, as you can see here.
It was laid off the corner as well, it seemed like. You see, got a little bit looser just as the racetrack is flattening out at the exit of turn 4.
You might think a little bit of a bobble down low in the corner, and it just magnified to a spin off.
14 laps complete here at Las Vegas. Darrell Wallace Jr., the race leader in the Rhino Linings 350.
Don't calm down here. Go get him here. Twice he's almost wrecked me, so pretty sick of it.
That's Ryan Blaney. Now caution on the racetrack, Adam.
5th time tonight. You see Ryan Blaney on track, and as we see him, it's Armand Quiroga making his way down the pit lane, and there's the 20 of Jason White.
Yeah, Jason's made some pretty significant contact in that Gunbroker Chevrolet with the outside wall. You see all the...
Quiroga right now is 19th as we watch the replay of what happened to Jason.
Oh,
Quiroga was coming to pit road.
And that sent Ryan Blaney.
Tyler Reddick in the team truck.
Was that Reddick?
Yeah.
He went up the hill, and that took Jason White right into the outside wall. Look at that.
I couldn't tell if Reddick got into Quiroga, but he definitely had contact when he slid up in to the 20 of Jason White on board with Quiroga.
Just no way that Reddick knew what was happening and had to make an evasive move. A great move by Reddick.
Taylor Malsom, the 9th place truck. Between he and Bubba Wallace, that's the 8th place truck right in front of Eric Jones. Jeb Burton, I don't think Eric's going to have to get up there and pass Jeb Burton. I think he has enough cushion to not push the issue.
But what about this last lap? You're having to pass lead top 10 trucks to get your way to victory lane, and they're making it tough on this kid.
What a day for Kyle Busch. Won the nationwide race at Dover. And now in his hometown, his truck's going to finish 1-2. Eric Jones, checkered flag. He does it tonight in Las Vegas. Second to Darrell Wallace Jr. Under caution for the first time today for the Camping World Truck Series at Talladega. At least 4 or 5 trucks involved. They were battling for a position on the backside of the top 10.
Yeah, and what happens so frequently at these kind of places is we get accidents in the straightaways. You would think it would be easy to drive these trucks down the straightaway. Not the case. There's Ron Hornaday, 2-time winner here. There's Armand Quiroga, top 10 in points. He's going to take a big hit. Mason Mingus, who had a good qualifying effort in that 15 truck.
There was some side drafting, some bump drafting, and like you said, Phil, it all occurs on the straightaway. Ooh, it looked like Quiroga tried to get into a hole that Eric Jones wasn't sure was there.
Hard hit for Mason Mingus in that 15 truck.
The crazy thing is, you know, we're talking lap 10 and 11. You just have to make sure that you understand where gaps are and that they're going to be there this early in the race.
Ryan Sieg swerved to the outside trying to get by. Nowhere to go when Mingus came up in front of him.
And hard contact with the 30. Let's take another look at it here. See the blue truck left side of your screen. You see him get sideways, get in the 15 of Mason Mingus, then go to the outside. Nowhere to go for Ron Hornaday or Ryan Sieg.
And that's about as far away from the spotters as you can get. So they're not a ton of help up front. Now he's going to be in the back. Be interesting to see what our point leader decides to do.
Right where he wants to be. You're watching the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Fox, presented by Mobile One.
Down in Mexico, competing in the NASCAR Toyota Series, but a big wreck on the front stretch.
Ben Kennedy slides out of line and slams the outside wall.
Still got him coming here. Just hold on. You're okay. Brakes. You okay, Ben?
We heard Ben say, yeah, I'm good.
That is great to hear, because he took a shot out of the draft, nose first into the wall, and before he could get the truck under control, the back end came and slammed it as well.
Good to hear his voice say, yeah, I'm okay.
What happened? Nemechek just came down into us.
Yeah, Nemechek got into us there. Not sure what he was doing.
Was it me or was it him?
In the top 5 as we look back at what happened.
Whoa, Nemechek got loose there for some reason.
Maybe he got a push from the 84. Chris Fontaine was right behind him. Maybe Chris got into the back of Nemechek, and that turned him sideways into Ben Kennedy. It didn't look like it was a situation where Nemechek was trying to get in line. Looks like he just got loose. Look again. You see how he weaved down to the inside there? With Chris Fontaine, that yellow and blue truck right behind him.
Yeah, and your truck isn't going to get loose just running through the tri-oval here. These things have a lot of downforce on them. It's stuck good there. So the way that looked, it's something made Nemechek's truck turn to the inside, and unfortunately for Ben Kennedy, there he was.
Boy, it sure has to look like maybe Chris Fontaine got into the back of that 8 truck of Nemechek, and unfortunately Ben Kennedy sure paid the price.
Paid it twice.
Yeah, that second hit was hard too.
On board with Matt Crafton.
How many times has Matt Crafton seen this kind of stuff, Phil?
Yes.
He throws to the back of the pack and has to tiptoe through all kinds of...
The blue and yellow truck of Fontaine is right on the back tailgate of the 8 of Nemechek. I gotta believe there must have been contact to cause Nemechek's truck to do what it did.
Well, Nemechek almost wrecked himself. That truck was out of control, and he just happened to hit Ben Kennedy.
Let's hear from Ray Dunlap.
Joe Nemechek came on the radio, said, "Number 1, please tell me that Kennedy is out of it."
We've got 10 laps to go for the Camping World Truck Series at Talladega on Fox.
Oh, contact.
And we've got trouble. Brian Silas out of line. Collects Brennan Newberry. Silas in the grass. And now the caution, 5th one of the day.
You don't see that very often. Neither one of those trucks hit the inside wall. They got together. Newberry did a great job of just remaining calm and cool as Silas slid across his grill. Damage there to the truck of Brennan Newberry.
Let's take a look at it.
Just probably a bump draft that went wrong.
Looked like a bump draft to the back of Brian Silas. It looked like it was by Brennan Newberry in the 20 truck. Brian does a nice job keeping that truck out of the inside wall. I'm not sure Newberry was quite as fortunate. He didn't hit the inside wall, but he does have some damage to that truck. There it is right there. Silas made some pretty significant contact with Clay Greenfield on his outside. Clay did a nice job maintaining control of his truck.
The view of our championship leader, Matt Crafton.
Wow.
Matt says, thank you for going to the inside after you got together.
And I said I was nervous before that last restart. What's he thinking? 9 laps to go here at Talladega. Bob?
John West Townley has remained patient and very quiet on the radio, but his spotter, Lauren Rainier, talking a mile a minute. They fell out of line, got shuffled back, but he is trying to get his driver, John West Townley, back to the front of the field, Hermie.
And now we're under caution once again, Bob, and it's for the 6 truck of Norm Benning, who spun coming off the corner, had just gotten the free pass to return to the...
He stays on the lead layout. Right rear tire splat, looks like. Look right side of your screen. I think he may have cut down that right rear tire, and that may be what turned him around. Does a nice job continuing to work with that thing and get it going straight again.
How many times have we seen a driver have trouble today on track but not hit anything and not collect anyone else?
There we've got a Toyota leading, a Chevrolet pushing him, a Ford running second, and a Toyota pushing him.
Timothy Peters led that lap by 2/100ths of a second.
What can Jones do? Can he get the move? Can he get a hold to the back of the 29 truck of Blaney and push him ahead? Or what's Jeff Burton going to do to the outside?
He's got some help from Tyler Young in the 02 truck.
Look at Taylor Molson and the shove he's giving Timothy Peters down low, who is now pulled away a bit. That middle lane drifting back. Here comes Jeff Burton outside.
4 wide.
That's Spencer Gallagher leading that wide group.
Matt Crafton, our championship leader, has worked his way back into the top 5. And a move being made in that outside lane. Peters pulls high to block. Now look down low. Fontaine is there. Timothy Peters stretching away. Can he hold him off?
Back in your mirror.
Yes, he can. Timothy Peters gets the checkers here at Talladega.
Run over. Great job.
What an amazing finish here at Talladega.
Positions in the first 2 laps, and the more you can get on restart, the better. First caution of the day going to come out as the 9 goes around, and that is Brennan Newberry.
You see damage.
21st.
You see damage to that left rear quarter panel of that 9 truck. More than likely some contact. We talked about you can often here. He tried to jump in line there. It looked like in front of Mason Mingus. He didn't quite have it cleared.
3 laps completed. Martinsville, the man that started on the pole out front, Darrell Wallace Jr.
He needed to tiptoe into that corner, but then Bubba's vision was blocked by Ryan, and he got in the oil and slid sideways. And look at the fluid on that camera. So a lot of oil down there in 3 and 4 that sent these guys for a slide.
Saw those drivers trying to clean the inside of Bubba Wallace. Cole Custer got a caution on the racetrack.
Third one of the day, down in turn 4. Jennifer Jo Cobb goes around as we complete lap 46 of 200. This means another restart.
Yes, it does. And we saw Bubba Wallace get the lead back on that. We're going to come in within the next 20-30 laps anyway.
Here's the reason we're under caution for the 3rd time today. Jennifer Jo Cobb over in turn 4.
Like Cody Erickson maybe got into the back of Jennifer Jo Cobb.
You could see right around. You could see the leaders were coming, and anytime the leaders are catching the back of the
2nd or 3rd lap in a row, see one of our 16-year-olds go wide. This time it's Cole Custer.
I don't know if this thing's going to stick down here or not.
Brandon Jones drives it in hard contact, and he goes around.
Wow, what a move by Matt Tift. That was an aggressive miss of a crash. I love what I saw there. He saw the opening, knew he had to hit the gas and not the brake, and squeezed right through there.
They were 3 wide going in the center of the corner. Then there may have been some contact.
Then this, Joey Coulter inside Cole Custer.
Yeah, Cole tried to block Joey Coulter because he lost his momentum when he got sideways. And Joey said, no, I'm taking none of that. Here we go 3 wide. That's not going to work. Cole comes down the hill. They make contact. Matt Tiff. Watch Matt Tiff go through there in the 0.
Impressive move from Matt Tiff.
Want to stay on the lead lap. Look at all the damage to Cole Custer's truck. Caution on the racetrack.
Wow. Cole being scored in the 15th position, but has dropped back now to 19th as our scoreboard cycles through. That's the 63 of Justin Jennings, who is also wrinkled up.
Look at all the 0 got together. That's a 0. He took out a couple pink trucks there. Looks like it was a Gray. Galding was that one of those trucks that he got into. He pushed Gray actually in to the 21 of Joey Coulter.
And ran Coulter into the outside wall. The first contact.
Jones, who seems to just get better and better, and now problems for the 99 of Brian Silas.
That has every sign of an accordion effect on the restart. Somebody didn't get a start good, and Silas hard into the back of another truck. Busted something in the radiator oil cooler area.
He was running 21st when he had his problem.
And probably left some fluid on the track.
Oh, trouble. John Hunter Nemechek's turned around. Jeb Burton as well.
Jeb Burton goes around. So does the 29 of Ryan Blaney.
There's oil on the track.
8th caution of the day.
Got room here, leader to line.
Matt Tiff getting through there.
Nice and easy.
Watch Matt grab
You guys are slipping, I believe. Easy. Watch this thing. Watch this thing.
Right through that mess.
Wow.
That's an anxiety attack, isn't it? There's a guy who leads the championship.
Could be a championship saver right there.
People spinning in front of him, people spinning behind him, and he just slips right through.
Like Brandon Jones may have gotten the backside of Ryan Blaney and sent him around. We go on board with Blaney here.
See, that late contact is what turned Ryan around.
How big of a break could that restart have been for Tyler Reddick? We talked about he needed, he's got those tires. There he goes through the outside of the wreck, gained 6-8 spots in that one turn right there. Now he's got the best tires on the track. Reddick could.
Brennan Newberry is there as well.
Great start for Armand Quiroga, too. He's up inside the top 5. Oh, hard
John West Townley, Tyler Reddick, Brandon Jones.
Ray Galding gets stopped. Hard contact for John West Townley.
The front end of that truck is destroyed.
Sorry about that.
Brandon Jones as well. That had to take him for a surprise, being hooked on the straightaway like that. We heard someone say sorry about that.
It's our 9th caution of the day.
That could bring out a red flag.
They were racing for 12th on track as they went into turn 1. The truck in an ARCA competition because he had a concussion.
See, John West was going to try to pull down to the inside of the 33 of Brandon Jones. Then the 19 of Tyler Reddick had a bit of a run, so he pulled down to try to get underneath John West Townley. They made contact that knocked John West up into Brandon Jones.
Yeah, I think John just thought he'd give a block here to the 19, but Reddick was in there far enough to where there wasn't anything Tyler Reddick could do. John West pulled over really late, and you could see Reddick was on the brakes, but the damage was already getting ready to happen.
Things happen so fast here. There's a little bit of contact up in front of them, but nothing like what happened to the 05 of John West Townley and the 33 of Brandon Jones.
Did you see Jones's truck come off the ground when he hit the wall? The truck weighs over 3,000 pounds. It's flopping around up off the ground.
To the truck following qualifying.
Yeah, Butch Hilton, his guys have a great out-of-box race truck here. He's come through the field a couple different times now.
Got a spinner up in turn 2.
Greg Alding, second time he's had a problem today. Great qualifying effort. Running second earlier on a restart when he went wide, had an issue, got out of sequence with the race leaders as far as pit stops are concerned. And
track to try to catch up to the field before he pits. That left rear tire was down when he got to the center of the corner. Did a nice job of keeping that truck out of the outside wall. Now if he can make it back around the pit road, get caught up with the field, he will stay on the lead lap. There's a little bit of contact right there. That's probably what cut down that left rear tire, the contact with the 21 of Joey Coulter.
There goes Armand Caroga to the inside, trying to grab the top spot in lap traffic. Is he going to get it into 3? There goes Armand Caroga spinning around with 13 to go. And we get our 11th caution of the afternoon.
4 wide at Martinsville for the lead. Doesn't get a lot better than that unless you're Armand Caroga, and he couldn't hold his lower lane.
Had such a bad.
Made the move on Wallace. Wallace returned the favor, but Caroga was just too low and too hot into the corner. Slid up, made contact, and spun around.
Tough break for Armand Caroga, but what an outstanding drive for that young man.
Hey, watch Matt Crafton drive through to the inside and just about get a piece of this. Could have been disastrous for him. Left of your screen, there goes Crafton. And now on board with Bubba Wallace as they went 3 wide into the corner.
Roland, you got a spin behind you. Stay green. Stay green. Yellow's out. Yellow's out. Awesome job, bud.
Yeah, while we watch this, obviously Bubba Wallace is able to take over the lead from Johnny Sauter. They're 4 wide.
They are still 4 wide. It's just a different one of the 4. That's great action. You talk about Bubba Wallace taking the lead from Sauter. What about our man Alex Gannett? He's up to the... How did he get back up there?
Clear by 4. White flag right here.
To the win for Darrell Wallace Jr.
Ryan Blaney back up into the top 5.
And Tyler Reddick coming with him, but they're not going to have anything for Bubba Wallace in that Wendell Scott painted truck.
Darrell Wallace Jr., short track sensation, second year in a row. He's going to win it at Martinsville.
Another one, John. Dang, I love you guys. Yeah, baby. Good job, everybody.
Hoo-ah. Hoo-ah. Under caution for the first time tonight, Norm Benning had a tire issue, got into the wall. More on him in a moment. First, pit road is open, and if you have an opportunity to get tires at Texas, you absolutely. And now we take a look at the reason we are under caution. Hard hit for Norm Benning over in turn 2.
Oh, wow, that's the worst place to be when you blow a right front, right down on the bottom of the racetrack, and you could see how hard Norm hit that outside wall. I hope he's okay. That was quite the shot.
A 20-lap run towards the end. Ben Kennedy is going to be the big loser here. Remember when he got shoved down in the grass, Taylor Malsom just trying to help him get by Johnny Sauter. We saw all the dirt on the grill, Michael, and it brought him to pit road.
You know, and it's so tough to hang on to a truck on the front straightaway sideways like Ben was. So a great job by the young man not crashing.
Well, a couple of the things we talked about coming into this race were the fact that Matt Crafton has averaged, trouble.
5th caution of the night. Going to come out for the 05 of John West Townley and the 32 of Taylor Malsom going through the infield grass. And perhaps our jinx theory worked because we are going to get a late caution.
And we are going to see.
With 10 to go.
I think we got to put tires on
here at Texas, and that hasn't happened. Ryan Blaney has fought his way back into contention.
Saw Taylor Malsom trying to make the pass to the inside of John West Townley, and when he did, was at contact with Justin Jennings there.
It looked like Townley slowed for some reason exiting turn 4. His truck lost speed, and he drove into the outside wall. Like perhaps it was a right front tire issue. It looked like it, but then the tire looks like it's up there, Phil.
Yeah, all 4 tires look up to me. Not sure exactly what happened. Definitely lost the front end there, made contact with the wall.
Yeah, it just looked kind of strange. He was going off pace a bit.
3 wide as they hit at turn 3.
And Kyle Busch it 4 wide. Look at that 51 in the outside lane.
See Kyle on the outside. Again, fresh tires on Kyle Busch. Armand Quiroga driving that truck for everything it's worth.
Everything it's worth. This is an amazing run for Quiroga.
Sauter again for Johnny Sauter. He's sideways, front straightaway.
To the grass. All right.
Comes out with 2 laps to go.
KO'd full of grass. Come on around here.
I'm telling you, Phil, the drop that Armand Quiroga is doing, he's just wheeling that truck around this racetrack.
No, we didn't.
And we will illustrate time and again these dress when you talk about an opportunity to win the race. All 3 of our title contenders involved in that one.
I'm not sure how Brennan Newberry was able to drive by Johnny Sauter. We see Max Gresham into the outside wall.
Max lost his momentum, and Johnny just tried to make a move to the bottom, and Jeb Burton was there, ran out of room. That was one of those racing deals, as they say. You could see Sauter just cut through there after the 23 lost his momentum.
Dangerous time for the man that leads the championship, Matt Crafton, in some compromising positions late.
A little bit of damage, but that's pretty. That tail panel of that truck is fine.
Quiroga chooses the inside lane. Green, white, checker finish here at Texas. Crossover move, Timothy Peters. Pushing Kyle Busch in that outside lane.
Quiroga's fighting back on the bottom.
Kyle Busch clear off of turn 2. He's back in the race lead. Side by side, teammates for second. Quiroga and Peters. Right behind him, Joey Coulter. Jeb Burton is there. Matt Crafton getting after it in the high lane.
Crafton making it 3 wide, trying to get a couple more spots.
White flag is out. Next flag will end it. Kyle Busch 1.5 miles away from victory here at Texas.
And they're 3 wide behind him, and that's Tyler Reddick down on the bottom.
Oh, trouble.
There goes Quiroga into the outside wall. Lifted his wheels off the ground. Caution is out. We'll freeze the field.
Unbelievable. Did he just wreck us?
Kyle Busch going to win tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. His 7th victory of the year, the 42nd in his Truck Series career, and the 3rd time he's got the checkered flag here at Texas.
And it's the 12th win for that team this season, too. That's a record-tying win for Kyle Busch Motorsports. What an amazing year. Side and race around Quiroga. This is an owner's worst nightmare when your teams are that you own both of are mad at each other.
So teammates having problems here in June over at Red Horse, and tonight the ThorSport guys unhappy with one another. Johnny Sauter and Jeb Burton.
There's a
Busch now. He's home free with those 4 fresh tires.
And you can see just loose on entry. Quiroga slides down in the corner. Luckily doesn't take out both trucks, gets sideways and hits the wall.
Second week in a row where we've seen Armand Quiroga let it all hang out and go after victory.
And that's what that was all about there, Adam. Those older tires sideways down on the inside of another truck, and away it went. But you can't question Armand Quiroga's harder desire.
How about Jim Green at Phoenix International Raceway? And already damaged. Check it out. John West Townley and others. Armand Quiroga among those that got damaged before we even got the green flag, and already caution on the track.
Man, that's a huge mistake. There's the front straightaway is really flat here at Phoenix. You can't see up ahead.
Let's go back and see what happened coming off of turn 4 to the green flag.
Look at him seize up there.
John West was just on the gas, and they weren't ready to go yet. That's just a situation where that talk needs to happen well before the green flag flies. Reminding your driver, the spotter's job, to remind the crew chief, to remind the drivers that accordioning effects happen here. There's going to be chain reaction accidents on the front straightaway because you can't see, and that's exactly what happened.
Those are the 2 guys right there. The yellow truck is John West. The blue truck is Armand Quiroga.
Brian Silas right in front of him in that white truck. He might have got some damage as well.
Yeah, somebody went and then didn't go, and that's really what caused it. We're hearing it might have been the 33 of Brandon Jones.
Yeah, he was right in front of Mason Mingus, and all those trucks were getting the green flag in that. On board with Greg Galding, in front of him teammates Jeb Burton. That's left of your screen, the yellow truck, right beside Johnny Sauter in the white 98.
Burton's really vulnerable down there where he's at, not getting loose as well.
And finally, it goes around on him. Rookie Ben Rhodes. Looked like there might have been a little contact, some damage on the left rear of Rhodes' machine. Second caution of the night, comes out with 20 laps complete. He was running in the 5th position, and another rookie, Matt, tipped sideways.
Since this restart here, looks like he gets in the back of Joey Coulter. Not as much of a situation of being loose as it getting in the back of Joey Coulter as they went down the corner. Let's see who comes along. It is Johnny Sauter that comes along and makes a little bit of contact with the left rear corner of Ben Rhodes.
As a rookie, you're always told once she starts spinning, just try to lock her down, and hopefully that will keep others from running into you. And that was really close for Johnny Sauter when Rhodes continued to move up the hill.
Other drivers have a better chance of missing you if you stay in the same place, because they can commit, and they've committed. Johnny committed to the high side. You can see the damage to the left rear of Johnny Sauter's truck. Watch this. Johnny's going to commit to the high side. Ben Rhodes right now, if he stays right there, Johnny would have had plenty of room to get by. You see him back up the racetrack, as Michael said, let off the brake.
And there's a wall up there too, so it'd been a good time just
go ahead and lead a lap, get a point. I don't think
we got another one around. Spencer Gallagher, Timothy Peters, Jeff Burton all involved.
Gallagher took out Peters by getting loose on the bottom. We have talked about that a lot.
Guys, we got up the left front as well.
Been a common theme in this race, hasn't it? Look at all the damage to one of the hottest trucks and teams in the sport as he comes in here the last 4 races.
And another guy that's been fast over the last couple 3 weeks, Jeb Burton, in trouble early.
Hey, and Spencer Gallagher started 6th. I mean, this kid came in with high hopes.
He just went in and didn't make the turn, didn't turn left. I don't know if when he first maybe turned for the corner, it got a little bit loose and he had to correct for it. But he just got in too hot or too sideways, one or the other. Let's see if we can see exactly what he does. You can see the 14 truck of Austin Dillon.
I think he was trying to give Austin a little bit of room, and then Timothy Peters was there.
Terrible.
Hard contact for the 23 of Spencer Gallagher.
Terrible break for Peters too, because Timothy was just chilling. Plenty of room for Gallagher to be down lower. That's what I don't really understand. It's like he saw Dillon make that move and it surprised him a little bit. When he got to the turn, he just didn't pull it down to the left enough.
And certainly Timothy Peters expected him to take the normal line down into the corner. This is from Ryan Blaney's Ford Eco Boost on board.
Caution, go low. Come on through here, outside.
But you
nice job on the...
About the 54 really needs to come to pit road.
You know, trouble. Joey Coulter around.
Flat right rear tire on that car. Oh, hard into the wall. Looked like the left rear tire was down.
We just wrecked down into 3. Hard left side contact.
Single truck accident.
Running inside
brings
the
out
top
the caution,
10.
Losing it over off the corner.
Nice job by Brennan Newberry getting by.
And Bubba too. Bubba Wallace is up on the high side. Look at that. He was along for the ride at that point. Nothing he could do.
You could see sparks because the tire was already off the wheel as they got down in the corner. Bubba Wallace on the inside. Ryan Blaney on the outside. A little bit of contact there between the two friends.
And that was right after the yellow. That wasn't so that there was under caution for the 5th time tonight. The reason why the 9 of Brennan Newberry spun off turn 4. He was scored in 14th at the time of the spin, 1 lap down. 6 trucks being shown right now on the lead lap.
A little bit of contact right there. John Hunter on fresh tires gets into the left rear quarter panel of the 9 of Brennan Newberry, and around he goes. Brennan does a nice job not getting into the inside barrels there. He holds the brakes, Michael, like he's supposed to.
Yeah, and we've been watching the times of John Hunter Nemechek. He was the fastest truck on the track lap after lap. Those fresh tires got him in a position where he ran up on Newberry so close.
And that was for position on board here with Greg Galding. He's not on the lead lap. 2 laps down, and there goes Silas around. Caution out for the 6th time tonight.
That truck was really loose from the very initial restart. We saw it over in turn 3 and 4. Then I looked at 4. Then I looked at it a couple other times, and he was sideways. Right front tire is down right now.
They were battling for 10th. This caution big for Tyler Reddick. First truck 1 lap down. He will be on the lead lap with Eric Jones, who is our race leader. Under caution for the 6th time tonight here at Phoenix.
You don't have to go back, or you've won. You're positive I've won, right? And that's the NASCAR officials. And yes, we are positive. What a great performance tonight by Eric Jones.
The breakdown for Kyle Busch Motorsports. 7 victories for the boss, Rowdy. 3 now for Eric Jones, who gets the checkered flag tonight. And Darrell Wallace Jr. also got the hat trick in 2014. Matt Crafton, a runner-up tonight. Let's hear from him, Ray.
Second place finish tonight for Matt Crafton, another one of those. And I'm curious, would you like to...
You saw it work for the man who's in the title hunt. Ryan Blaney getting around his teammate on board here with Kyle Busch, who also likes to use that outside lane.
A lot of talk. Oh,
John West Townley.
Hard into the outside wall.
A yellow's out here.
First caution of the day, 4 laps in. It's for John West Townley, who...
Oh, John West is going to be sideways.
I got tagged by the 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries there. Come on down pit road.
Yeah, he got sideways. We saw that in practice and in qualifying. Those trucks get sideways up high.
Great qualifying effort for Townley. Started 12.
Up losing that championship by 6 points to Austin Dillon.
That happened in 2011. And now our second caution of the night is for Mason Mingus. Here's a team that's really performed well. Billy Boat Motorsports, 3 consecutive top 15 finishes. And really since going over there to drive for them, he's been at his problem.
As many trucks that have been sideways. There's another one. Mason Mingus,
sideways.
He's not able to hang on to his, but as many of them that have been sideways, I can't believe we hadn't had more spins.
Did a nice job keeping that truck out of the outside wall, though.
I think that's something that's fun to drive these about. What's fun about driving?
The wall did some damage. He's on the pit lane. A few others came down, among them Johnny Sauter. We'll update his situation in a moment as we check out the replay of Martell.
Yeah, Carl already into the outside wall there, stays up against it. Given the trucks the ability to go by on the inside.
Check this out. Bubba Wallace was drafted. He's a one-man highlight reel, the way he drives that truck, and it sure is fun to watch. Down the front straightaway, watch this.
By himself, single truck behind you, going to go 3 wide top. 3 wide top, 42 in the middle. 3 wide, you're on top. 42 in the middle. 42, 3 wide top, 3 wide top. Here, hold the wheel, hold the brake, hold the brake, hold the brake. Hold the brake here. You're going to be fine here still. Caution's out. You're going to be fine. Get it rolling.
He just had the wrong angle into the corner, Adam, that he's had several times tonight, but this time there wasn't room to slide up. He did a nice job of keeping it off of Kyle Larson, but Kyle did a nice job, too, of knowing he could feel him coming and moved up a little bit.
On board with Matt Crafton.
Diving inside, Johnny. He's behind, you're clear. These guys right here trying to wreck right here in front of you. Watch the spin right here in front of you. Just stay in the middle. Just stay straight. We're still green. Keep racing. Watch.
How about
what you want to see, huh?
How about the calmness of Matt Crafton?
Jr. But you know, Kyle Larson's got one more run in him.
He's going to get some momentum off the corner. That was a great corner for Kyle Larson.
Big run for a slide job. Still 1 back.
Look at Kyle, just as high as he could possibly get, trying to get momentum off the turn.
3 attempts at a green-white checker a year ago at Homestead. No overtime this season. White flag is out. 1.5 miles away from his first intermediate win for Darrell Wallace Jr.
I don't think Larson was close enough that time. I think he would have loved to have tried the slide job that time. It wasn't close enough.
Does he have a run here? Can he get to him and do it into 3?
Last time into turn 3. Here comes Larson down low. Let's see if he can make it stick.
Bubba almost sideways.
Nearly sideways, but Darrell Wallace Jr. going to hang on and win at Homestead. Peters is 3rd. Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney complete the top 5.
That's it, buddy. Bring it home. Checkered
and
flag.
Matt Crafton going to finish in the 9th position, and he is your 2014 champion.
Good job, boys. Good job, buddy. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
He finally gets to
Good
breathe.
job.
You can feel